have access to CSTV like normal, so we'll have to wait and see once we get back into game to see exactly where the finances lie. But if I'm going to try and do some quick maths, Monacy had 5K there. They've lost 2 rounds in a row, so that's 1,900 loss. There's the ability to get another decent buy. Yeah, he's gone in with an AK. There's enough money on Tessus and Kiyosuke as well, so they can definitely justify the buy in this scenario. But going into the final round, if they don't save or they don't get a plant, we're not even going to be looking at the Galil territory. It's mainly going to be around the MAC-10s Tech 9s, with 2,400 going into the next. Dixon looking to make the biggest compromise, so he's down to the pistol while the rifles are on his stars. And well, this one makes sense, doesn't it? Kiyosuke, Monacy, Nico with the AKs, Tessus with the Galil, and the in-game leader with the pistol. Good comeback now from Vitality. Started strong, looking to finish that way for the half before the break.
Chunky.
Yeah, Nico has a very important role in Banana, right? He's essentially going to be calling the rhythm of utility when he needs that support flash, when they want to start progressing. Sometimes you call into the stack. Well, right there, he's taken an awful lot of nade damage again. There's been multiple rounds where nades have landed on him, but he's also had multiple rounds where he's been able to find the kills top Banana. And again, they're looking to make this direct play, see if they can overrun this. It's just Flamesy here playing from CT spawn. He doesn't have any support. They've gambled towards A. This call of the rotation is incorrect. How many can he get? That's the question.
A lot of pressure onto him, but he is at the top of the tables right now. Flames has been strong so far. But a whole squad, a whole Falcon.
Oh, nice smoke that he dropped to play around backside.
Push through the smoke. Spam actually does connect. Apex has done well. Removes Nico, finishes what his nade started at the start of the round. Now Bomb will go down and gets across.
Oh,
and another spam.
Okay.
Tessus goes down. Mezzy with the Smoko vision.
Haven't even planted yet.
Yeah, Kickson's very delayed. I think they're just right now clearing Nubox and Dark. Finally,
they realize the
fight is theirs, but you got to get back. Apex is posted. Nice shot back. Kiyosuke with something. Keeping the hopes alive for Falcons. Flash is good.
Oh.
The cover's better. Monacy onto Flamesy. There's Mezzy. He's doing so much for the Vitality squad right now. Double kill on the way back in. Kickson low. Has to be Monacy that steps up. What can he provide? A headshot indeed, and only Zaiwu has to get for the AK. Best weapon for the job, but time-sensitive mission. Nade won't finish off the job. Uses it to mask the steps as he crosses deep into the site. Kickson playing time.
Kit's there.
Kit picked up, hoping for an overextension. Needs that one tap on the Monacy swing. Oh, it's Monacy though, handing out headshots and haircuts. 7 for Falcons. This is a T-Hall they can be proud of.
Yeah, and to throw more numbers into the mix, that was a 3v5. 2 kills, 3 smokes. And I don't even hate the approach here, right? So these kills are great. They come for free, essentially. But at this moment, because the bomb has to get back across and they've already rotated in, I don't dislike the fact that Vitality is swinging and taking those jewels. They're just not collapsing down with all of them. There's 2 of them taking the fights. If they're a little bit closer to CT, then maybe it would have been a little bit more perfect. But it's hard to criticize that. The shots just go against them. You could say, okay, give over the plant, then play that retake. But I don't think they necessarily misplayed it too poorly. Nico up and under again, and this time he'll get the opener.
Yeah, lovely work. Doesn't take a single lick of damage from the HEs this time. Enables him to win out. Ooh, Apex was flirting with aggression. Nico welcomes it. Double on the B defense. This one looks like it's round 12 already with a fork in it.
Do they overplay their hand?
It's a possibility when the bomb retrieval has slowed you down.
And Vitality have to play for this one. So
I want Nico to commit through that. Low HP, just be a little beacon of intel. Ruin smoke is dodgy. Messi can't get another one of those smoke spam kills.
CT smoke's faded though.
It has, it's been replenished. There's Monacy over the top, removes Mezzy, this time nothing. On the smoke spams. Just exposed, and the final round petering out. Robson Zaiwu though. Even with that door locked behind them, I'm never ready to write them out. Doesn't feel good. Doesn't look like they've got much of a chance, but Zaiwu will go looking. Nico removes it. Quick tap to the head, a massive round from Nico. 3 on the warpath into B. Falcons starting strong. Map 1, first half. Good morning, Counter-Strike. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching from. This the Esports World Cup coming to its final day. It is Championship Sunday. We find ourselves starting bright and early with the third place decider. Vitality and Falcons came up short, finding themselves here. I'm joined by Chatty B, and we're into our second half, map 1.
Now, Pissed Around went the way of Vitality. They got the conversion, and hold up a second, we're going to have some aggression. I'll get back to telling history.
Oh, he's caught at the tail end of the push. That will inform the rest of them. Monacy taps Mezzy in the meantime. There's Flames getting active, and it just flattens them. Perfect weapon for the job, that Glock.
That's both pistols, and Flamesy over both pistols has, what, 5 kills?
Yeah.
So that's an awful lot of impact. He is really trying to pull up his stocks. He hasn't had the best tournament, hasn't had the best time in the second half of 2025 so far, so that's great for him. Was making a lot of space yesterday, but not always finding the kills in their loss to the Mongols. Aurora taking down the Falcons, and that's why, yeah, don't adjust your sets. This is a third place decider. It was one of the most epic grand finals we've had in 2025 so far back in Melbourne.
For
right
real.
now, this is
For real.
just to decide who gets that bronze medal. Taking a look at the force by now for Falcons. This lead that they accrued within the first half can get away from them damn quickly. So they would love to start the economical tug of war right here, right now. 4 players top banana, as a nade does soften 2 of those aforementioned 4. Now, all the information Vitality have so far is somebody was top mid with a deagle, and now they've blocked it with a smoke.
Ooh, they're going to have to respect that. Oh, no, they push forward. 3 SMGs, 4. They're just lusting for the pushes. And it's been handled well. Vitality just stand and bang. ZywOo and Apex repel the swing. Understandable that what little remains, Kixon just scarpers away to try and save.
Clear plan, right? Because they had that smoke at the ready. It did take a little bit longer than I think Kiyasuke was ready for, because he was starting to hedge forward. Monacy was waiting for the smoke before he started to pipe in. Now, they are investigating A just to make sure. This will be good information, so even if Flames goes down, the bomb will just go into B, get spotted, trade there, they know where Kixon is, and now they can plan over towards the other side of the map, so very well handled from Vitality. And now will be the lighter investment for Falcons going into the next. So what was quite a big lead will quickly just become 1 round before the guns come back out. Clinical, well handled, and solid Counter-Strike on display. Now I wouldn't mind seeing a tactical timeout going into the next rifle round for Falcons, just to understand how they want to approach clearly with the guns. There's no shying away from the fact that a few of these players are going to be quite tired. It's all right. Sorry. Any noise that anyone makes in here is going to get picked up, isn't it? It's us. It's a couple of cameramen. There's a few members of staff from either team, but there's a different setup today for this matchup.
Yeah, this is the closest we've come to having like a...
Is this the tactical now?
An LEC. This is it. This is what Counter-Strike would look like if it was like League of Legends.
Okay, all right, well, take it in, because we'll be staying away from that. Surprised to see the tac now. I guess they would be talking about the following rifle round. Still want to extrapolate some value, from this lighter investment with what is likely just going to be a couple of pistols. Keep the pressure on, I think would probably be the message. Boys, let's not just get bowled away. Now, the introduction of third, or the reintroduction, I should say, of third place deciders in Counter-Strike coincides with the VRS. PGL obviously bringing this in earlier within the year, and the fact that there is prize money differential between third and fourth, and your placement will have impact on your VRS, which is essentially how you qualify for the major. Now, for Falcons, this is more important than Vitality. Vitality are towards the tippy top of the rankings, understandably so. For Falcons, it's not that they're not in the bubble, right? They will get major qualification, but you would like to be in stage 3. That would avoid 2 prior Swiss stages if you were to be stage 1, right? Which is, it's a whole other conversation itself. We're not going to get into all those details, but either way, stage 3 is where you want to be.
Big difference, yeah, and Rob's denying much potency to this one. It was just those pistols investments.
Okay.
Bomb can go B.
Yeah, so they did get a couple of kills out of this. So there is that value, that damage being done to force the reinvestments. Now look, Rob's already got a couple kills on the MAC-10, so he's made his money back, but how much more? Now, the MAC-10s that are picked up, they'll be worth even more in the frag department, and you are going to give this round a go. There's a smoke, there's a flash, that means there's a chance.
Nico wants to go. He'll go on the second. Oh, gets spammed on down. Good read from Apex. Anticipated the walk up. Throws some bullets through the smoke. However, that smoke is very intimidating. Sitting at the front of the fountain. Pool and uncertainty.
Well, now the round win is off. Still just look for damage. Try and keep them boxed in when they go to exit the site. See if you can take them down. You'd love an AK going into the next, wouldn't you? Oh, reroute from Kixon. I think he's going to go for the banana exits instead. So m0NESY, now he activates as he hears them exiting the site. And they're actually going to waltz through the open door of CT spawn. So the path of least resistance is m0NESY now is chasing them out and will go down. Kixon reroutes to the wrong place. And, well, that'll be that. The bomb goes off. The round is theirs, that 1 round gap. Apex furiously typing away. It's another tech. Okay, well, I can see down the end of the line, m0NESY headset off, getting some support from tournament management. So we'll have to keep the details of the game to ourselves for now.
Yeah, I think both teams are doing great, Chad. Maybe you can hear me.
Yeah.
I particularly think m0NESY's doing great. But yeah, if it is going to be headset off territory, I could see m0NESY was kind of highlighting something at the end of that round as he was backing away.
Well, the phone box has come out, I think.
And you talk about, you know, how much this third, fourth matters to Falcons. For Vitality, the framing is different, but it is actually the same. You may have heard us talking about it yesterday as far as the Club Championship extra cash is concerned. The desk reminding you. For Vitality, a third place finish here would allow them to surpass Liquid in that Club Championship and up the prize purse to an extra milli. Now that's for the org.
Exactly, and maybe they get some of that.
Sure, I mean,
don't know what their deal is.
All I know is that I want the people that are paying me to be paid.
Sure, okay, because it means that you can keep getting paid.
Exactly.
Yeah, so as long and you keep your boss happy, don't you?
Yeah. It's not like, you know, they're not going to be crying tears of joy if they secure an extra million for their org.
Yeah, that's fair. Oh, yeah, no, Apex agrees.
Yeah, exactly.
Apex agrees indeed. So this does show you that the bit of the zoo setup that we've got unfolding in front of us right now, it's an interactive vibe.
Yeah, it is. I like it. I mean, dude, I had so much fun with the third, fourth place we did over in Cluj.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't think we'll be having the same treatment as we did there.
No, I think that's actually guaranteed.
If anything, what you would like to get run is not a beer, but
I'd love a
cold brew coffee.
Oh, a cold brew.
Could you imagine someone comes charging in with a coffee?
Yes, please. With like an irrelevant splash of like oat or almond milk.
Oh, okay.
I don't mind.
Well, you don't even need it, do you?
No, but I just like a little splash, just to change the color. So that's my coffee order. Anything else you want to talk about?
I'll take a cortado.
Cortado?
And if you don't have one of those, a flat white.
Yeah, okay. But I'm not too fussy about the milk. Like, I wouldn't mind. I prefer not to go for the dairy for some reason.
See, this is the thing. I have to say, sorry, everybody. We really can't talk about the game right now because the players can't hear us. So we have to talk about silly things, and that's what we're going to do. So, yeah, look, I hate the fact that now I have to say regular milk.
But that is... as opposed to what?
Well, what it is, which is just milk.
You could just say dairy. Is that too many syllables?
Well, almond and oat, they're not milk.
Regular is so many syllables.
It's juice.
3 syllables. Oh.
It's almond juice.
Yeah, and you can make it at home.
You can. Put it in a blender.
Yeah. I saw that the big dairy are trying to, like, you know...
Big dairy?
Yeah, they're trying to make propaganda that the almonds and oats are bad for you.
Well, Bessie's not happy.
Who's that? Oh, the
Bessie
cow.
the cow.
Yeah. I know her, actually. That's cool. Yeah, okay.
Oh, dear.
So that's your breakfast.
Well, what we could do, we could talk about the Aurora versus Mongols. Best of 5 final coming up. Let's do a pre-show.
Okay, a full pre-show. Let's do it. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Big one. Best of 5 and for all the marbles. Chatty B joining me. Chad Sponge Birchall, you've been playing this game an awful long time. Do you have a feeling coming into today? Just feeling as to who's going to be lifting
you
the
wanted?
trophy?
I was going to do veto. I was going to do all that stuff.
No, I know, but
yeah.
I'm a desk coach, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I start with the prediction there,
here we go.
because then I can battle back. I will take the opposite opinion.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay, so I can come in and go, well, listen, Alex, these two teams, they have an awful lot of history between the two of them. Both struggled just to get to those stages. And on those stages earlier in the year, they felt like free wins. But Mongols have definitely activated that major final against Vitality, and now a couple of wins as we're back underway with the game on our screen. So we'll get back to that if we have another tech timeout.
Over the course of these 3 maps,
I'm sure we'll finish that death segment. Okay, Mezzi, problems solved, and up banana he goes. 3/4 banana smoke towards logs, but Mezzi's ahead of it. Go with the nade. Doesn't release it, now won't have the chance. Oh, it does back off. Singed toes.
okay, so he extinguishes in order to keep this acceleration up and force out a smoke from the defenders. They've only got 2 left, Chad, so very early doors to be burning through your limited resources.
Has drawn the rotation as well, so they do feel that they're under pressure, and Kiyasuke is also going to transition in towards sight. So he might try and be this unknown entity. We know that Kixon and Nico are the B defenders. Tessus has taken over the role of Pit. Want to see the AWPer here, there, and everywhere, and Kiyasuke that A rotating rifler. So they applied so much pressure, it forced the rotation. Kiyasuke not playing in a rotation spot, playing in a committed position, and now on those 2 A defenders, they have all the pressure.
It's going to be a long wrap, it looks like, which is perfect, by the way. Monacy going to be forced forward, actually pushes. Oh, perfect timing, masked by the HE. An important trade back, and now they'll have a good idea that he's on site somewhere. Looking for Tesses, rotation on its way. Graveyard fight, it's going to be awkward, yep, overcome. And saving already.
Everyone's favorite 3-letter word. 3-letter, 4-letter. Early for us as well.
I'll tell you my favorite 3-letter word.
Don't know when save became a 3-letter word.
Oh dear.
Is it Mezzi again?
So, ladies and gentlemen,
back to that death segment.
Back to that death segment.
So where were we? The
you were
tough
just
between
saying
the two
how
teams, a bit of a head-to-head.
Mongols have kind of maybe
they've broken through,
through,
whereas Aurora haven't been able to do the same. However, the win yesterday is massive.
Is there another final that I'm forgetting that from Aurora? Was it a blast?
At the start of the year against Spirit when they were Eternal Fire.
Right.
So you're not forgetting it.
Yeah.
They just changed
their
their
name. That does confuse me.
Yeah, they're getting a little bit cheeky with it, aren't
Okay, so this will be their second final this year for the Aurora boys.
Well, you're fact-checking me live with
I know,
computer,
and
so
you don't have a computer either.
And I didn't prep for this match because we're not doing it. So, look.
Something like that.
Something like that.
Something like that.
Is he fixed?
Really?
Well, not is he fixed. Wait. The computer is...
dog. Oh, we're doing a full Formula 1 change.
Tournament management now. Plugging in different cables. A real assortment. We're going to have the classic USB 3.0s. We're going to have network cables. We're going to have display ports. It's all going on right now. Don't forget about that kettle plug. That one right there should be one of the easiest. The biggest of sizes.
With the power cable, I agree. Looks like he's actually going to be going for an SSD up the front panel. Now, that is accounting for the motherboard to be correctly wired here.
See, this is the thing. I don't know if he's gone with the quickest of positions to plug. I think if he was on his stomach right now, right, the hands are free at that point. Right now, he's using one to keep himself up.
Yeah.
If he had both free, was able to balance with his torso. Look, the people at home don't care if his legs are splailing about. That's fine. That's all right. He is getting the plugs in, and it does look like there are a few more to find.
Also, there are some people out there. There may even be a viewer out there that has plugged their fancy new monitor. They've plugged it into their motherboard. Now, I just want to...
Make sure it's into the graphics card.
Let's make sure it's in the graphics card, and let's just right-click on our desktop. Let's click display, and let's just check the refresh rate.
Yes, definitely make sure that you are getting the optimal hertz available on your monitor. As
whenever I accidentally end up on 60 hertz nowadays, I've been a spoiled brat, you know. I see 60. I can't believe I used to play video games on 60. Actually, 75 was my breakthrough.
So this is the real problem we have as we glance over to Mr. Nico, a nod, a peace sign, and everyone has smiles on their faces. But yeah, look, this is why the CRT generation, we were somewhat spoiled, weren't we? Because then when we brought out, they were much better, and then we brought out these bloody panels.
Yeah, but LAN was a workout.
Put hair on your chest, though, didn't it?
Just
having to carry that monitor in the LAN hall.
It's true.
You drop it,
GG.
Mum's not buying you a new one, is
no
she?
way, absolutely not.
So you would definitely hold on to that precious cargo.
Yeah, this is from the generation.
And Apex would have been one of those men who would be carrying his CRT monitor back in the day.
For sure.
Be those BYOC French lands.
Yeah.
He's got existence on one side of him.
Meanwhile, for Rops, as soon as he got flown out to the FACEIT office and they plugged in a 240 hertz, he was like, oh, this is how I play games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing, right? You've got different generations on display.
Yeah. Who do you
We've
think
got
like
Regali night lighting again, so it's great to see him picking up his secondary gig. He loves tournament management, Regali.
We know Nico used to go to LAN halls with Hunter because there's photographic evidence.
His parents owned one.
I can't call it a LAN hall, can I? It's not that.
His parents owned a LAN cafe.
Cafe, that's what they call them.
Imagine if your parents owned a LAN cafe.
I mean, that does sound like the arc of the protagonist of my esports. Not written it yet, but my esports.
Is it an anime?
Anime.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you looking for an animator, or what's the...
Well, at the moment, I've only just decided about 3 seconds ago that I'm going to make one.
I think we really could, though.
Yeah. Like, with our powers combined, and with, like, the team that did Haiku.
Okay, we're going to start. Oh, so we're going to start with a pretty mid-anime then.
Yeah.
That was a joke, everybody.
Yeah.
It's a great anime.
Yes. And I was actually very close to starting watching it. That's the end of it. Yeah, very close. I got very close.
That's a gut punch in itself right there.
Yeah.
That'll get you fired up.
Okay, exactly. Which I figure we could do with this. So let's think. So the protagonist, his story starts. Parents own a LAN cafe. We're talking before he could walk. He's holding the mouse on aimbots, right?
Okay, yeah, I see it.
And we kind of montage through that. Do we need like an older brother? You know, do we need an older brother? That's the cliche.
If we went with real life,
That's
right?
the
We went with Hunter and Nico. It doesn't necessarily have to be the older brother.
Yeah, okay.
Hunter is older than Nico, but it's in the family. There's still that heir to
the cousin, the
Yeah. Yeah, and there's that photo of them next to each other and everything, right? So as they're building up, is that where we start? Is that or do we start there and then we do prequels, a bit like Star Wars?
I actually was thinking we maybe start with the villain's origin story. So
who's the villain?
He's born in Perth, and he tries really hard for a while.
And then realizes
international lad
has to go and have a microphone in front of his mouth.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he can't hold a mouse.
Yeah.
To save his life.
No, but actually, good question. Who would the esports villain be? I mean, that's the question.
The esports villain?
Well, for our protagonist.
Counter-Strike
For
villain.
our protagonist, yeah.
It's a good question.
The Undertaker. You could have Simple.
Simple would. This is the problem. Does there have to be a villain?
I mean, not. It's an antagonist. It's not a villain.
Okay, well, there you go.
Yeah.
That framing is better.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be a villain, but there has to be rivalries.
Exactly.
Because there's no real villains in Haikyuu.
It's sports. It's competition.
Exactly. Okay, so there's
competition, but
villain's a bad word.
Villain's a bad word.
That's all right. We've solved it.
Yeah.
And life's about words.
Exactly. And our job is technically, really, mostly words. So let me choose the right one. Antagonist of my story that I've just come up with.
Oh dear. This is almost like a podcast
Simple.
for the people in here.
It is, yeah. A live podcast that I didn't know I was going to be doing today. But I'm glad I'm doing one. You know what I'm sad about? Maybe now I could do it. I've got the time.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Obspot, I didn't reply to your email. I would like a camera.
Jason got one yesterday.
I know.
Yeah.
I didn't reply
Maybe
to
go see them after we're done with this. They'll be around.
Do you reckon I could just what? Just walk up and be like, hi, I am bad at checking my inbox.
No, I don't think you go that angle.
Oh, I just go, hi.
This is the angle. You go, so let's do it right now. I'll be you be Obspot.
Okay. Hi, pleased to meet you. I'm Machine. I'm working on the Counter-Strike. Oh, that's a bad start.
Yeah, no, well...
Are you me?
I'm you.
I'm Obspot.
Yeah, we're Obspot.
Okay. Hi.
I just got word in my ear we should be starting, so I don't know if... Wait, hold up. Flames' headset's
roleplay?
off now. I do want to roleplay,
Okay.
but Flames' headset's off now as well, so maybe we do have a bit more time than...
Now it's starting to feel like the Cluj 3rd, 4th. Now it's starting to feel like our last Spencer.
Headset's going on?
That's a good sign.
Okay, good. Because we will... Okay, so we're going to finish the death segment, and we're going to finish the Obspot roleplay.
Okay, cool. Yes, put those both on our list.
Okay.
Also, I noticed that Nico went for the most vibrant of keyboards. I reckon he had a choice.
Well, when he's sponsored by Ray.
I know he's sponsored by them. I'm sure he had a choice of colour, didn't he? He went for the Falcons colour.
No, but Razor's green.
Well, yeah, they have pink, don't they? They have other colours.
No, I know what you're saying.
I'm saying he's elected for the most vibrant of greens.
He does strike me as if we were doing a Power Rangers version of the anime, he would be the Green Ranger.
Okay.
He'd play the flute, the dinosaur would come out.
Complete left field question, but out of all the Counter-Strike players that have ever existed, who still would you reckon would still have a favourite colour?
Of all the players that still have ever existed, well, I'll go the younger one.
I reckon PR.
You reckon PR is a favourite colour?
Blue.
Okay, yeah, maybe lilac.
Lilac.
All right, here we go. Cyan. 8-8, all tied up. Just to get everybody up to speed, it's going to be both pistols in favor of Vitality. In the first half, Vitality only won 1 gun round. Now that they are on the T side, they are yet to drop a round, and we're getting back into the guns. Not a full buy.
Ooh, stray bullet through the smoke finds Kiyasuke, and he will just be continuing his warpath, actually. They're using this aggressive smoke to set up for second mid. Test is a part of this process. Robs gets spotted out, controls the spray nicely. You can see with that crouch, he made it very hard to find the head. Masked by the wall. Kiyasuke 1 overstays his welcome. Okay, so this is an interesting one, because Vitality, they've taken down 2 players on the A side of the map. Your instinct tells you it's not wide open, but it is.
Okay, so I'm just trying to get myself back up to speed so I can get everybody up to speed. So the last round was that A play, where Tessus and Monacy went down on the side after Monacy got the opening kill on Apex. He was then traded. That's why we had 3 saved guns. That's why right now we had the FAMAS and the Deagle. And next round we'll still have a full gun round. So right now Falcons would love to find a little bit more resistance. Still with 3 players alive, a couple of block smokes available as well. 38 seconds on the clock. I think they'll execute towards B, and then Rob should start probing towards A, or will he? Are they going to actually?
You've got about 10 seconds to make this choice.
Robs has to probe now, surely, because they've been blocked. So right now Apex has to believe, is this actually a stack, or is this just smoke and mirrors?
They're going to commit in. They're committing in with a bomb.
Committed.
Yeah, this is still available. Nico's position, trigger discipline, needs the multi, gets the 2, but not enough.
Mezzi dies, they lose the round. Mezzi dies, they lose the round. Like, that is a very, very touch and go situation, them going into the stack. So, okay. Sounds like a tactical timeout has been called. This is where the guns will come out fully. Now, does Monacy bring out that CT side at AWC, AWP? EWC. I had the same question in the first half where I was discussing Zaiwu bringing it out, and then he did. So let's see if we're right again. It's almost like a bingo card. But they handle the chip in of aggression. They walk away just past the stack. Not an easy round to win by any means. Fist bumps come in. Drinks get the lids on. Will this be a flawless half from Vitality on their T side? So far, so good. Now, Nico, I said, would have a lot to say on the T side in terms of the banana control. Well, on the CT side, him and Kixon is going to have the same type of conversations. Monacy will bring out that. Ooh, take a look. Alex Flames has opted intentionally in with a MAC-10.
Ooh, and there's 3 no-helmet heads.
So this is telling you it's going to be something a bit more direct. He's heading over towards the apartment side. The AWP posts up middle. Doesn't catch anybody leaping forward. Second wave, banana control.
Ouch. Zaiwu 6 HP. Mezzi goes forward. Nico asking questions. Nice headshot from Merriman. Kicks it in response, keeps it level, but it's the dunk from Kiyasuke's HE that will level Falcons out with that man advantage. Kicks in on half health. Monacy trying to hold on to mid. They, ooh, double peek him, but adjust into Flames on Boiler. That's the end of the round. Collateral. 1 bullet, 2 kills, buy 1, get 1 free. Falcons get the break of the silence in sync with Monacy's first AWP.
Okay, well, all the eruption in banana forces them into the AWP, and the AWP does its job. So when you break it down like that, sounds awfully simple, doesn't it? But I'm sure a whole lot more went into it than that.
I love that he didn't get like too sidelined by the spot on the jiggle mid. He actually still adjusts into Boiler, anticipates he hasn't come alone. He brought company.
3 players starting over towards second middle, so it's just going to be Apex throwing util to hold them in bay. Let's see, jump spot, gets information, lots of talking. Lots of talking. Rotation on the way as they get the banana control, but it won't be there in time.
I want to see good angle for it, but the flash does connect. Diligent work on the util front. Vitality wrapping. Monacy quick to this. Does manage to dispatch of 1. Flames removed. Re-peeking. Monacy's on 1. Double and out. Mezzi puts him down. Awkward now. Lots of smokes. Potential pushing. Yeah, Kiyasuke does go through. Apex falls. Bomb on the site though. Will Mezzi opt for the plant? Robs provides the cover.
And he has a re-smoke available here, Robs. This might channel them in through short.
3 through short with plenty of util to play with. Kicks in on the kit. Robs, that was his first fight. Spots out Kiyasuke. Mezzi in limbo, trying to catch their progressions here. That's perfect. That's the angle. Double trouble. Mezzi delivers 3 in the round. Vitality's 10th. It's just the two of them. Robson, Mezzi, all 5 combined.
Yeah, going to be frustrating there for Monacy. He gets that double on the wrap. I thought he did an awfully good job in that situation. 19 kills to his name. He is having a good map so far. But is it all in vain? An immediate response. It wasn't easy. Here's that double again from Monacy. Peeks back in, grabs the second. Surprised he doesn't almost get another collat there. Pops out through the apartments, but the fact that they're able to get that late replenish up of the Moto smoke, the question there becomes for Falcons, do you want to just wait this out, which means it's going to be more touch and going in to be perfect, or do we group up and try the other avenue? And that other avenue was accounted for. Once he does get his ult back, and again, it's essentially the same round, Alex.
Will it be the same
round?
result? Honestly, did a good bit of heavy lifting. It still wasn't enough. This time, Tessus has that headshot position, and Monacy alternative position on site. Again, Flames meets his fate. Good trade. Oh. No, wow. Robson, Mezzi, they're like turrets into this site. You're feeling that one-shot headshot on the AK. Immediately forces Falcons into a rather uncomfortable decision to be made. You've got a man disadvantage retake on A, but hang on, Zai was just jumping around in the middle of site. Caught off by the fade of the smoke. Nico sets up a new one to peek over. There's cover from Mezzi, who's doing it a lot for the boys. Back-to-back triple kills from the Brit.
That might be it right there. Obviously, the loss bonus is in play for Falcons, but I don't know if we'll be able to get out another Monacy AWP. Run the repeat call there into A. And yeah, you're right. It was the closers being the openers this time round, and they just devastate that site. Very good work. Nico going for that, I'm thinking, okay, maybe they're considering the save, and he even gets a second kill on the Rops over towards Pit. So Nico does his job. It's just pushing through that smoke. They think that enough of a kerfuffle's been kicked up that there is a gap that has to be tended to. This series, just because of the nature of it, does feel like it has 3 maps written all over it.
Yeah.
Right. So this is the map choice of Vitality. We have Train coming up next, and we know we're not going to shy away from the fact it was a late finish last night for Falcons and an early start today. So they are going to be obviously a little bit tighter, and what that does entail is sloppier Counter-Strike, which tends to be the most entertaining Counter-Strike. So we'll see how that unfolds as well. Falcons are able to buy in. There's 2 Famises in lieu of those M4s for Kixon and Nico, and those are the B defenders, Alex. So if it is a B charge and they just don't get enough damage, you'll know why.
Oh, Zaiwu. They nearly had the double opening. Nico keeps us level. Falcons a must-win round. And Nico, he's actually going for more with just a FAMAS. I understand why he's gone for it. Feels like he has to do it all, but it has resulted in what should be a real open and shut case for round 21. The 12 will just glide across the line. And
also with the last 2 being so A-centric and A-early focused, right? So you're thinking, okay, well, are they just going to try and fight for this banana control and then drop back into an A-pincer again?
Oh, he's done well through smoke. Finding Mezzi on that power position of Nubox, but they're not going for it. Late into Inferno, but weaponry required into the next.
Yeah, so there can be 2 drops. Oh,
easy.
Don't die like that. Okay, yeah, we're saving. Are we? Let's just throw away the rifle.
Nothing worse than that, yeah.
He's so lucky he gets to hold on to that. So, 3 alive for both teams, but this has only been 1 round in the half for Falcons. This is the CT side, and we're in a CT-sided meta, but I still think Inferno, obviously the extra cash is going to help the CTs, but this map requires all the U2 and weaponry. The Ts, I think, are always going to have banana control advantage because of the lengthier period of time that the Molotov lasts compared to the Incendiary, and just the combinations of utility. Teams are so good, especially a team like Vitality, at making sure they can get that control. So it was never going to be easy for Falcons. We know this is a weakness in their map pool at the moment, but those rifle drops come in. Everybody equipped for Falcons. We're about to find out if this is our last round of play or not.
Okay, Mezzi quick to this, asking questions of Nico. Oh, he's heard the burn. Still the flash comes in, and still Mezzi prevails? Yeah, Nico's smiling, a grimace perhaps. Block smoke, they can just push this. Mezzi not scared at all. Look at him playing with some vigor. from Apex onto Kixon. Looks like the bomb does need to be retrieved despite the site being lost. So still a question mark as to the finish for the CTs.
There's the CT replenish, which is going to alleviate a bit of the problems. And there is another one for ZywOo available. And this lurk from Rops is essentially the round winner.
Nice shots. Vitality's map pick looking to be coming to collection. V for victory and all that. Well, certainly here on Inferno. Pivoting into the wide open A site to ensure it. Monaseek, Tessus finding themselves in ruin. Sure, you've caught Rops, but Apex is down a 2-on-2 all of a sudden.
They're being so cheeky with this. It didn't feel like this needed to be so complicated. But okay, they'll plant the bomb over towards A, and now they have to rotate back. And Flames isn't contesting either of these fights. They know that the bomb is not on B. The sound gives that away. Now ZywOo has to stay alive.
Yeah, this is actually really weird now.
He has to come back through middle, Flames, because it's a default plant. It's not planted for him library side or anything. So this is curious. ZywOo just has to delay. He can't die immediately.
Well, he's played abs. Oh,
spotted him.
I think so. They're light on time. There's no chance, no time. ZywOo pulls it off. It's awkward, it's clunky, but it's Vitality taking Inferno after all.
Okay, well, after what was a pretty slow first half of play, it was the pistol, it was the conversion, it was one rifle round, and that's all that they need to get them across the line with an 8-4 first half in favor of Falcons. I'm going to hand this one over to Mike.
And so it shall be handed. V for Vitality. A victory on the first one, looking a little bit stronger here as well. And picking up the slack as well to make sure that they get that one over the lines. Falcons, promising moments, promising starts. Monaseek looking more like himself, but at the end of the day, they could not get it done on Inferno.
No, but a much, much better performance on Inferno compared to the last couple of days that we have seen. I will say Monaseek kept them alive, you know, for a fair bit in that second half. First half was much better looking for Falcons. They seem to be in control. They seem to have a great idea of what they wanted to do. Second half, I love the calling coming out of Apex, I'm not going to lie. You know, you have 2 rounds in a row where they just go straight up middle. They go straight off the bat, out of spawn call, completely read the situation to perfection. So it was good to see Vitality play well, good to see Monaseek play well, but we get to see Falcons still struggling a little bit on Inferno.
And I think it's important, right, for Vitality to put these, push these rivals back. You've seen them lose series to Mongols now. You've seen them lose a series to Maos. They're trying to contend and make sure that they're still declaring themselves the top dog in these situations.
Yeah, we cannot forget the fact that there's still an awful lot of money at stake here. Vitality winning, that puts them second in the Club World Championship standings and nets them another $1 million. I think that's motivational for Vitality. I think them losing a game to Falcons would also be a bad sign for the future. Right now, we've been excusing them with, yeah, you lost to Maus, who's one of the best teams in the world. You lost to Mongols twice, who is one of the best teams in the world. Now, if you start to lose to teams like Falcons, who are nowhere near the peak shape, peak form, then the questions start to arise. So I think it's very important that Vitality gets this job done.
Now, I thought it was interesting, right? We saw an interview with Flamesy yesterday where he mentioned the fact that ZywOo's been under the weather and that yesterday they failed to compensate for that across the board. This time I think we saw a lot more step up from the supporting cast. Flamesy himself having a nice one, Mezzy having a very nice one as well. I think that's something that Vitality's been discussing, is that, you know, in this situation where maybe ZywOo isn't at 100%, you do have to get more from the rest.
Yeah, and I think that was great to see, especially in the second half. As you said, Messi and Flamesy stepped up massively. The last couple of rounds, it's all Messi, you know, closing out the round for Vitality. Obviously, having ZywOo being sick, that's not gonna be good for Vitality, and that may explain part of why they're not playing well. But again, I will say that we saw in Cologne, we saw at the Bounty, we see here now as well, they are not up to par. Whether he's sick here or not, that's just circumstantial. It's still not Vitality playing at 100%, but as I've always been saying, you know, if you can get into semifinals 3 tournaments in a row by playing at 80% and maybe even win a 3rd place decider, then things are maybe not as bad as we make them.
Now, we didn't get a chance to really dive into the veto in the pre-match. We do have our second map coming up here. It's Train. What do you think of Train between these two teams?
I mean, I don't necessarily like that pick coming out for Falcons, to be completely honest. I don't know where else they would go, to be fair, but Vitality and Falcons, when Falcons had Magics on the lineup, have played Train an awful lot. Vitality had that as their own pick in a lot of different series, so I think Vitality are super, super comfortable heading into Train as the second map here, especially considering you get to start on the CT side.
And of course, there's going to be the haunting memories of last night as well, right? I mean, you don't imagine you're going to get quite as many clutchers going against you here if you're Falcons, but still, we saw them struggle in those man-up situations, right? That's a repeatable thing. In every crazy clutch, somebody has to be making a mistake. And for Falcons, we've touched on it before, not a lot of time to rest, not a lot of time to reset from that one, certainly not a lot of time to review your mistakes. Is there going to be time for them to show a better face here?
I think so. I think the level of gameplay that we've seen from Falcons on Train so far has been high. I think they play the map to a high degree. I think they understand how to be proactive. I love the CT side. Monacy is not afraid of getting up close with the AWP, whether it's pushing into Pop Dog or getting close to T-Main. So I have a lot of different plays. We also saw Nico have a great performance yesterday on Train. So I think overall, in terms of how they play the map of Train, they play it at a higher level than they have played Inferno, as an example. The problem for them is that they're facing maybe the best team in the world on Train in Vitality. So regardless of how well Falcons are playing, it does require Vitality to still only be at 80 or 85% for them to have a chance.
I still do want to paint this picture that it might happen, right? Because we were talking about it in the pregame. Yeah. There's that element of when you don't have the time to prepare, you're almost playing on instinct to a degree. And this is a team that has some of the best instinctive players in the game. When you talk about Nico, when you talk about Monacy, they've even talked about it with Kyosuke, where they say, you know, maybe he's still adjusting, he's still developing, but he has that sense for the game, for where things are coming, for where the place is going. So do you think this is going to be one of those situations where it's very much about the individuals, very much about finding those instinctive reads?
I mean, that will be part of it for sure. I think we saw that from Nico yesterday. He was one of the individuals that kept Falcons alive and had a fantastic T-side. Really played well, and we got to see a bit of that old Nico. So he's a great example of how you can, as a player, I guess, dictate the game on the T-side and make sure that you stay within the game, because that's my biggest worry heading into Train here, is that they get to start on the T-side, Falcons that is, and that's going to be difficult. You're going up against Saivu, you're going up against Messi, you're going up against Robs, you're going up against some of the best anchor players the game has to offer on a map where the anchors are super, super important, especially towards Ivy and towards the inner bomb side. So I think Falcons have a lot to do here. I wouldn't be surprised if the game is competitive. I think Falcons have played Train to a high level, but for me to say that they're going to win or to sell the story that they're the favorites here against Vitality and Train, I can't.
Well, that's a little doom and gloom, but I'll ask you for one more thought here, Jacob. You're a performance guy, mostly with the physical at this point, once upon a time in the server as well. If you were coming off of this kind of a map loss, if you were going into a map where, as you say, there's a lot of reasons to maybe think of the doom and gloom, if you had a team that's maybe still waking up, getting ready to this early hour, how would you reset them?
I mean, it's easy, actually, because that's one of the things that us players, we are incredible good at, and that's lying to ourselves or spinning it into a positive. And if I'm Falcons right now, I'm going up and be like, listen, we were competitive on Inferno. A couple of more rounds going our way, a couple of the late clutches going our way, and maybe we could have won Inferno. And we know we suck at Inferno. We know we're good on Train, right? So if we take that same level of gameplay and we apply that to Train, a map that we actually are functional on, a map that we play well, then there should be no issue. And that's exactly what the players are telling themselves right now. They're spinning in that, yes, we lost Inferno, but it was actually a positive outlook compared to what could have been. And then hopefully you can use that, I guess, momentum or maybe dilution, you know, to some degree, to then go into Train and believe that you can still win. As I said, you know, Falcons are no slouches on Train. We've seen that both with Magis. We also seen glimpses of that with Kyusuke coming in, so they can definitely make the game competitive, but I find it tough to see them winning. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, in the words of Nerds, sometimes you need a little bit of delusion to win. Maybe Falcons are going to need a heaping dose of that, because Vitality are looking to lock their club into an extra $1 million here in the Esports World Cup Club Championship. One more map stands between them and that goal. It's going to be Train after this break.
gonna be a good event.
Welcome, sir.
Hello, I'm checking in for Team Vitality.
Sure. Your room number is 118, sir.
Thank you. What the?
Hello, sir.
Hello, can I please get a table for one?
Table for one. Yeah, 18. 1, 18. 1, 18. 1, 18. 1, 18.
I'll just sit outside. Hey, where is the nearest shawarma place?
The nearest shawarma place is 118 meters away.
You're finally awake.
How long was I out for?
Half a day. Apex is gonna get mad if you don't show up at practice. Let's go.
I had a really weird dream. These train noises. And I kept saying this number.
Welcome back to the Esports World Cup 2025. Do not adjust your sets. This is Vitality taking on Falcons. However, it is not the grand final. The third place decider between these two titans. Locking horns earlier in the year in one of the most entertaining grand finals back in Melbourne. Now to the consolation prize on the line for the Falcons, an easier qualification to the Budapest Major Stage 3. That's what they want to set their sights upon. The VRS points are plenty if you can plunder against Vitality, who are looking to secure the second place at EWC, leapfrogging Liquid in the Club Championship. Millions of dollars on the line as we turn to train map number 2 of our head-to-head.
And it's been a bit of a mainstay for Falcons. We've seen this being picked as well up against G2.
Interesting that this is their map choice, isn't it?
It is.
When you have such a skill-based team, you're going from the newest map to the pool. Look, people will say overpass, but I think the trainers had the most significant changes.
However, devil's advocate, as far as their strong suits on this, a lot of people's complaints about the new train is that, well, there's nowhere to stand, it's all just an aim map, and, well, there is an awful lot of aim on Falcon's side.
That new box is kind of cool, isn't it?
The new box, yeah, that is an interesting one. Sandwich smokes can now not necessarily completely dictate.
I think it adds to the elevation too. You can jump up quicker, play on top of that 6 train. And speaking of that area of the map, Madja, Aurora, a beautiful 1v3 against Falcons yesterday.
Oh man, I don't know how that happened. It looked like that looked like a young man's clutch.
Didn't it?
Yeah. It really did.
Well, we'll get to see if that old man has more young man clutches in him coming up next. That'll be on the mainstream. Aurora taking on the Mongols.
A 5-mapper. See how far they get.
Bit of history between those two as well, as we are about to get this one underway. Don't you worry about that. Now, both teams trying to bring the energy. It's hard to do in this type of environment. We've already discussed the stakes. One's more organizational. Maybe there's an element of pride that Vitality are looking for here. Now, this is their 3rd consecutive semi-final loss. Went down yesterday to the Mongols. They would love to get just a win under their belt, try and add a little bit more confidence, because they are rebuilding into the second part of the year.
Yeah, and Apex took to Twitter to talk a little bit about
a little bit.
What did you infer from his?
It was quite a chain of tweets. Essentially, what I took from it was people are being quite harsh. You know, we know that we're not performing as we should. We want to win, just like the fans do, and well, we'll try and get back to where we were to start the year.
Yeah, probably just like a kind of a bucket of cold water on the face that The flimsy fans, the glory supporters, can't handle it. The real ones, I'm sure, understand.
All right, well, util 4 Falcons on this pistol. We've got 2 smokes, a flash, and a Molotov. And right now, as they are heading over towards the box holes aplenty, excuse me.
They're the bot holes when I'm in there.
Yeah. Or it's the Portuguese beer. Consmoke lined up. They've been blocked towards low ramp. This will facilitate a rotation, so you can see Apex joining the fray. That Molly destined for his spot.
Yeah, okay, so Apex is forced and warded back. And Robs gets nothing on receipt of the Tessus push. Tessus has been such a lovely, just blunt object. Just jumps out into sights more often than not. They can't even get one. I thought Tessus was a guaranteed kill. Now Mezzi's barrel's been spotted. He's getting closed in on. Monacy hits it with the P250. And yeah, that's a very convincing start to Falcon's train. Their map picked for a reason. And as Chad had highlighted, this third place decider got 3 maps written all over it.
It does feel that way, doesn't it? And, well, if you remembered Nuke yesterday, Vitality got blown out. So if we do get there, they'll be also looking to right the wrongs of that. So I think the difference to kick things off is a pistol round for the Falcons. They weren't able to do that on map number 1. And we'll see how long those flow-on effects can follow. CT side 4 spies, they are definitely possible. But do you want to opt for a move where maybe you push out Pop Dog? Or do they even want to 4 spy at all? Because right now we can see there haven't been any investments whatsoever. It's going to be an eco round taken from Vitality, so they're going to want to bring the M4s out into the next.
Something we know that Falcons have is that double HE for the pop push. Might see that on the first gun. I think that's what they did in their
game against G2.
Game against G2. Double HE, double kill, and they actually lost the 3v5.
And that was a game that they started 6-0 down.
Yeah.
And they had to battle back into. So the fact that they are going to get a nice start, should be filling them with a bit more confidence. Now they've gone extremely rifle heavy. It's 1 AK, 4 Galils. You really want to avoid taking casualties because of those investments. They should be identifying soon. That'll be the eco. They're about to come running into pop. Yasuke, how many can he get? There's actually be Nico to farm up 3. Make it 4, and it's going to be the ace. Nico will add all 5 to the tally.
Feels good.
Mate, those are everyone's favorite type of kills.
It's like you get your half's worth. You get your quota.
They don't matter as much anymore, do they? With the HLTV economy adjusted stats.
Oh, true. Do you think players will stop being such hunters for them?
I don't think anyone will ever stop being an eco hunter, to be completely honest with you. But yeah, definitely won't find the same level of implications, will it? Okay.
Camera smoke thrown out.
Done with the eco, now into the guns. CT side without a kit.
Blocked a little. Don't know if that's going to have any implications. So a 3 smoke opening. Does it lead to anything? It leads to Romps being very low. Falcons have started off with early pressure B. Forces Zaiwu to lend a hand to the low HP B anchor. But it's all a ruse. It's actually a 3-man contact walk through Ivy. Responsibility of Mezzi. Ooh, solid output damage-wise. And he gets a dink onto Kiyosuke as well. Finished off. Flames, can he match the output? Gets Monacy dinked as well. Tessus Monacy, hamstrung. Kicks in Nico, healthy, and Nico pushes out the smoke. Instant deletion into the first. Apex doesn't even get a chance to react. Bomb moving back. Zaiwu relays that information. Nico out red. Progressing, and Zaiwu will clash with him. That's big from Nico. Double kill. 8-0. Even if we did just watch the ace against the eco, these two, a lion's share in the first gun round.
Anybody oversteps the mark, Rops is in a very good position to collect, and I'm not sure if Flames wants to even investigate now. Obviously, because of the buying pattern that they've gone for, it's going to be a bit tougher to see them save and then buy back in. So they are going to give it a look. Tickle on the bomb, does find commitment, and goes down. Now that 40 seconds are thrust onto the clock, I would be trying to find yourself a safe haven to hold on to these rifles. And Rops thinks the same. He starts to path backwards, the same for Flamesy. And we'll call this 3-0. So very well done.
Yeah, just the unconverted damage from the Mezzi Flames exchange Ivy, huh?
Is that a laugh from Falcons? I was trying to identify. I don't think anybody in the room would be having a giggle other than them who've gotten away with murder. I do like teams who are starting with, the 3 Ivy pressure on the first gun round. It really does set the tone. And somebody like Mezzi, it does make things trickier for us. Well, Rops hangs around, and that's where they've exited. So he doesn't get to retain his M4. Bomb will go off. Loss bonus into the bank balance, but as mentioned, it's going to be tough to justify the investments with where the loss bonus was at, and only saving one gun takes away that threat. So this is going to be a very slow start for Vitality on train. Not yet to leave the station. Scout for Mezzi. 5-7 for Apex, Deagle for Zywu, MP9 for Robs, and the save down 4 for Flames. So a menagerie of a purchase right now.
Yeah, not going to be the easiest to get output out of.
Oh, cheeky nade, huh? Very cheeky indeed. Okay. Well, shell-shocked Kiyasuke walking wounded alongside an eco.
Yeah, and now 5-7. Extra lethal. Couple of shots to the body would get the job done. Flash, though. Not blind. Oh, but Kiyasuke doesn't matter about the nade. They couldn't finish him off. Zywu will.
Overkill.
Yeah, very nice shot. But the Rob's going down. That's going to open up the B site. They can run it down. You can see that they're hesitant to do so. And nah, they'll just take the shots, I guess. Okay, Mezzi with a scout. Honestly does get across.
Well, the support's here as well. And don't forget about Tessus. Ivy Lurk will essentially secure the round, worst case. And worst case seems very unlikely as Mezzi will go down to Kixon. Couldn't find anybody and then just waltzes into the open, and Modesty with a big smile on his face. So
this is crazy. I could hear more comms than ever. Right? Modesty got into that smoke. He just kind of went, "Where do you want me to go?" He just sat knife out in the smoke, let his teammates win it. Probably screaming at him to go A. He's like, just kill him.
At least they're having a good time.
Yeah, 4-0. Let's see if it can stay that way. It's rare to see Vitality kept down.
Yeah, and it was a slow start after the pistol and the conversion for them on map number 1. So we'll see what follows now. As Zywu does bring out the AWP.
Oof. Robs' aggressive venture thwarted by the HE. Has to respect that. Tessa's putting a lot of pressure on Ivy with that smoke. You can see that forces an awkward 2 options for him. They're just running into Robs, and again they just get this opening free of charge.
That is such an interesting move to be. It's literally a flash and a smoke, that's it, and then they just erupt. So your B defender, we can actually dive into this because it should be the save. So your B defenders, they're going to play like jiggle defenses, and then they're going to drop U2 on a tell, right? So that's why the flash comes through at the same time as that connector smoke. So if you do catch him off guard, he'll be scrambling, and it also, causes the rotation to be in a very tough spot. So the lack of telegraphed util does not allow them to be in the right place at the right time as they're looking to do damage on the exits. Sporadic spray does tickle them up, and oh, that's the AWP gone. So Vitality, 5 in the hole, CT side, train, yeah, that's right. Now they will be able to, as long as they hold on to these, which hold my breath, it might not happen.
Yeah, should be fine.
Okay, so they can drop across 2 rifles and go again. But yeah, Romps in that situation would say, hey, my bad, I was the only defender there, and they erupted very quickly in towards my side. And with a very nice shot to make that all possible. So I like the approach. Good to see they are showing some proficiency on this map. Don't even mind the fact that they wanted to work on it. It's just something where you look at modern Counter-Strike and you look at the players in this team, you think, okay, we'll just wind them up, let them go. Like, they're Beyblades, right? But look, if you're able to come up with some unique approaches and turn train into your map, it can have some really nice ramifications in vetoes down the track.
Well, something that Robs has always been very good at on his B anchoring duties is that, like, he'll occasionally throw these aggressions into the mix where he is already in your face, taking fights, pop, flash, utility, and asking questions of your opening. But right now, he's not been able to get that going. They do the double HE. He starts to try and play for an info on the jiggle, and he's just been losing these 1v1s.
And you also need the connection of your pop players, right? And that's why that, in my opinion, is the most key part of real estate for the T's to get early on train as the AWP jaunts over towards Ivy. He blocks, Monacy clears. Nobody home, but that does keep the pressure up. And this is, you can see why Mezzi, okay, well, I'll drop a flash, I'll make sure that I'm having a look, because when players clear smokes, that's also when you try and progress a rifle through, and you get a bit cheeky with it, and it's clear that Falcons have no issues being aggressive right now. actually blocked Pop with the smoke, so that one's nice and deep. It will facilitate a rotation. Zaiwu is going to join Rops over towards B. They do take main control late, call sector clear, and then the pieces of this CT defense are going to keep on moving, but they desperately need a round. So you know there was Ivy pressure. You know that you've foregone the box holes. You know that you've given over Pop Dog. But at least you have main, is what Flamesy's thinking. Oh, and guaranteeing now, as the sandwich smoke has just been deployed there by Kixon. He has the bomb.
Yeah, he has to be careful. Moves back Ivy side. Monacy starts to work forward. It's Mezzi in this angle. Feels like Monacy should have him now. Gets the info though. Spots out just a little bit of leg.
It can't repeat that. This setup is fragile right now on A.
Yeah,
very fragile.
Surrounded from Pop and Ivy simultaneously. What's the go? How do they approach this? Apex. Light damage from the Molotov. There it is. Nico from Pop, and it collapses. Just as easy as that. Zaiwu gives them only one. Falcons, a well-structured pincer maneuver. 6-0 flying high. Mezzi and Apex still on the goose egg.
Yeah, I really like that. Right, so they're essentially giving them main. It's like, well, you can have it. That's fine, because it helps us inform what your setup is going to look like. And if you are worried about B hits, then you're going to likely play the 2-3 defense. And you can just see how it falls apart. They know what they have to worry about as they're coming through late through Pop, coming out Ivy. If you get that back lane control, that it can be very powerful. So really nice crunch, and especially without any team aim presence. So well done for Falcons.
A 6-round T-Hall, and that's just the first
Flash
6
to fight
rounds
here
of
on
play.
Ivy.
Yeah, Mezzi is going to be flashed in.
Good
Honestly, eats it, doesn't matter.
Okay, what are you meant to do about that one?
Muscle memory. What were you saying about those horses and their blinders? It doesn't matter. Honestly, gets the opening kill to keep Vitality in the dirt.
Yeah, and they shoved as well in this situation. Apex trying to get himself a upgrade. The only way I can see this one going wrong is multi-kills from the CTs, right? Having a gamble on a site, which they are right now, and then you need to get these multis. But right now the man advantage as well as util advantage does lie with Falcons. So if they simplify their approach, make sure that they leave enough time on the clock to go for this, they shouldn't have too many issues.
Well, the issues come to them.
Yeah, okay. Well, it's info, but you know Rops is still alive, who is the B defender. If anything, that would probably help inform this decision, as Testes will keep the options open. Apex is going to get caught by timing again, I'm sure. He's going to be frustrated. I'm just going to keep my eyes on him right now.
He's looking the wrong way.
Yep.
And there you have it. And so the pivot begins. Yep. Honesty realizes someone has to tend to this. Okay, catching the regress and just pulled apart.
It's so annoying as well, because it's like, oh, you got the man advantage, or you got a 2-man advantage, and he's still playing the round like that, but it's great. As every bachelor knows, it's good to keep your options open. 7-0, as they are going to likely take this one away. Rops, you can't get out of there. You get 1 kill for your troubles. And if I was Xtaz, I'd probably take attack. Didn't get much of that.
Neither did Vitality. Monacy just ended that round. Lovely work from the dynamic AWP. Things flowing a whole lot nicer here. In contrast with Inferno.
Well, was their CT side of Inferno that was the real problem, wasn't it? They got 8-4 first half. These upgrades aren't even given the timings or like the pacing from Falcons to capitalize on chaos, right? Play in smokes, you know, catch them on a timing as they start to have the execute. Just getting iced out. And he's just the one man again. Rob's on the B side. His rotation point will be Mezzi through connector. The AWP applying pressure. So if Monacy takes a shot, you're going to think, okay, it can't be the AWP lurking on its own. He's actually going to start to pivot backwards. So I'm going to give away his life in vain. Has to worry about that main slip as well. Mezzi now rotates in. Really don't expect a lot from this type of
Getting used to that box. Yeah.
It's a nice shot, sure. Again, it's just the AWP is the one getting the kill. At main, it's like, mate, what are you expecting here? Zaru's giving us something to get excited about. Kyosuke and Nico both low. Well, they were. And there you go, 8-0. So continuing the winning ways. And look, the round's looking pretty clear cut as it's unfolding. There's really not too much resistance being felt at the moment. Definitely doesn't fill you with too much confidence for Vitality to get this done in 2 now, especially when you are 8 in the hole on the CT side of Train. They do get the full buyout again. Apex has a kit. Both Mezzi and Apex are on the board at least, so everyone has at least 1 kill to their name.
When does the bug stop? When does the Monacy Nico opening stop? Their combined scoreline of 23-2 right now, just 8 rounds in.
There's info. You know where the AWP is, or at least was, only seconds ago.
They're quite religious about the Ivy pressure, aren't they?
I think it's very important.
Sometimes there's 1.
Especially with the changes, right? Because of the angle, not being able to hold it from old bomb in the same way as well, the bomb train not being able to contribute in the same way. I think it is very, very important to have Ivy pressure. Especially with the CT's prevalence to fight for pop and fight for main. And right now, Vitality haven't actually fought for pop, which is fair enough because you're going to get mollied, you're going to get naded. This smoke is something that we saw, was it Mouse, who were throwing, right? And it was causing a couple of issues within the mid-rounds. But everybody is here for Falcons for the finish.
They've got so much faith in Robs. Gonna have to lend him a hand. It could be a fast flank now access for Flames. Throws out the block smoke. Looks like the timing here from the push is brilliant. He gets nothing for his troubles. Okay, catches Monacy. They run straight past. Good for Vitality, looking good.
Have to win this one, boys.
Great though. Kyosuke and Kixon partner up. It's all Kixon to close. Double kill from Kyosuke. Fake plant, Flames, and Zaiwu. He managed to isolate the push. Why is Flames gone pushing?
Well, there was flashes coming for him. He's picked ahead of the flashes.
Kixon, have you got this one? This was their best bet. Oh, Vitality, a sigh of relief as Zaiwu closes it down. Kixon gets very close to coming up clutch. It will be Vitality finally on their 9th time of asking, posting a CT round.
Okay, they got something to work with. Let's see how many more it can be. Yeah, the pop push coming in late within the round there does cause so much chaos. You can just see their Flames in the back line making a scuff scenario. Falcons have to fight forward. But the fact you only have 1 player staying alive, not hugely confident building, is it?
No, but 2 consecutive, maybe there is a little bit of a boost. As that's a nasty one for Monacy to deal with. He doesn't have any trouble though. Swallows the nade, puts him on 2, but gets another opening. 11-1. The kid is on 1. Zaiwu misses a chance onto Tesses. That would have been a real valuable clawback kill. Flames actually does start to push out, gets out of the main, but at what cost? They've just lost B.
Yeah,
Nico and
everything right now,
1v1 with Robs. Kyosuke comes up short versus Mezzi.
Well, there's so much pressure B, it is going to draw multiple players on this rotation.
You haven't left Con, it's just Zaiwu that's going to have access.
Well, Kixon has U2, but he's not with them right now, so it's just going to be a shooting gallery. Nico just tapping it in as this round is another one added to the tally. Let's make it 9-1 because Zaiwu, he's already taken a couple of shots, only has 2 bullets left. So even if he hits 2, he's going to have to reload or pick up another gun. And I don't think he's going to get those options, even though he's been able to sneak past for now. He might get Tesses. Wait, hold up a second. Here's a kid. Guys, we're going to have to stay a bit quieter right now.
Yeah, we have to be quiet. We have to stay quiet. I cannot commentate. I can just tell you that Zaiwu is going for this very ambitious.
They can't stop him.
Defuse. They
He's won it.
actually can't stop
They
it.
can't stop it.
Zaiwu with a 1v4! Oh, can you believe it?
Yeah, okay, yeah. If he fires some bullets, they'll have to find another gun or reload. How about you don't shoot any bullets at all and you just defuse the bomb?
Moly. What?
Okay, well, again, not hugely confidence building.
No, but you know, on the other side of the thing,
Yeah, it does
Falcons-
sour the mood of what was a gimme round.
Yeah, it was a fire.
Okay, well, that's one way to skin a cat, isn't it?
And we are probably about 5 meters from the players as well, so I'm glad we shut up.
Yes, okay. Well, look, that one barely, right? The timing there, because I think Nico was continuing to push up and he was clearing deep. So Zyra gets very fortunate with the timing. Tassa's thinking, well, this shouldn't be possible because we were in the side and this was just cleared, quote unquote. But no. So, all right. Still.
That's just the first road bump. The main interesting part here is if that does, you know, the cracks start to show in Falcons now. Do they compound into something worse, something better?
You won the round,
for
but this is your
Vitality.
bye. So,
Yeah, right. Scout.
we've
Oh, they
seen
go
this
for the flash
before.
play. Yeah, this time, Odyssey. What have you got? He's lost a teammate, and hang on.
This land is calling.
They're on track for 3. We're on track to see Nuke, the third map and the third place decider match. The grand final coming up a little later on today. You get to see Aurora take on the Mongols to be crowned champion of EWC. But neither of these massive names, Vitality or Falcons, were able to muster up a grand final performance yesterday in the semis.
Think about all the big scalps we had that got eliminated very, very early on in the tournament.
Well, that's what happens. Single elim round of 16. You lose big names early.
Spirit, Na'Vi, then we lost Mouse. It's definitely been quite the run as we do turn our attention to the pistol round. Now, map number 1, Vitality won both. First half of map number 2, Falcons won theirs, went on an 8-round run and then closed the half with an extra on top.
Nico started with anti-eco ace and kept going. 20 frag haul in the 12 rounds of play.
This is double high ramp stuff I was talking about.
Yeah,
it
which
feels
we
like,
didn't see any of from the first half.
G2 were doing it, and now Falcons have copied it.
Ooh, tough shots for Tessus now. He's had his bell rung, goes down. There's the trade. Kicks and needs another, and with his help of his team, they've managed to overcome 3. Head in hands for Apex, you can see just nothing going right, nothing going to plan, but when in doubt, Zywoo clutch it out. Flank comes through, Kiyosuke's got him dead to rights, booking him in. Oh no, it comes down to that, 5 points of health. Kiyosuke nearly made a meal of that one.
I'm only used to the Nico reactions on the cams, but being able to watch it at the same time as it all unfolds is a new spectacle. If that moment happened, then I'm sure Vitality would have erupted, but all of the rounds that they've picked up have been hard fought. You've had a 1v4 Goblin defuse, you had an inside hold that required a lot of grit and determination, and then you had a 2v2 that you almost dropped.
Yeah.
But that is going to be the death knock, I would say. Even if you win this force, just the way back in is so tough. T-side train.
I think Rob's, after the way Nico was treating him in that first half, wants to have a go. Give him the same. Equips himself with the AK.
So Zoe with those kills has given it to his Robin, literally.
He is the Robin to Zywoo's Batman.
And Batman's got the money.
And he's got nothing.
Well, should have called Catwoman.
Let me know if you've got a number.
This one is going south. The Penguin. Feeling very warm about how things are functioning for the Falcons. The Birds, they're all friends.
Yes, they are.
The gun show on display there for Apex. Maybe not in the server, but...
I don't know, making the FAMAS look pretty damn good of a gun is Kiyosuke in this one as his kicks in. And so essentially, same again.
Well, Vitality being put on ice. Mr. Freeze would be proud.
I'm afraid I can't play the comic book villain names.
Well, I don't know if this one is going to be too much of a riddle for the Falcons to solve. Flamesy has dropped that AK over to Zywoo. So we continue to give AKs to the guys who can shoot, but we need to see them shoot damn hard.
Allowed to exit. Main to be controlled. Nico hoovers up that space and will park the bus. However, looks like Ivy will be port of call once more.
Oh, will it be Poison Ivy?
He can't be stopped. He can't be stopped. Whose responsibility is this? Kixon. To get across, Zywoo's AK has room to stretch his legs a little. Audible. Wrapping around, that smoke now fades. Nico tucked into main. His Flame's got it in him to win this with the Deagle. It would change everything. Okay, never mind. Falcons 12. This is going to be a quick one.
And they are the bane of their existence right now on train. I'm sure after this, Nico's going to be laughing like the Joker.
Maybe less maniacal. Maybe more jolly. Maybe.
Maybe. Well, this is a quick trip. This is a bullet train.
To Nuke. We're off to Cedar Creek.
It is good to see Falcons justifying why this is their choice, though, isn't it? If you had to look at it from that standpoint, as there he is again. Last three, just going to peter out into this one. Can unplug the, well, I was going to say mouse and keyboard. That's going to come on the next map.
You need that.
Can at least take the headset off, as this one really seems extremely unlikely they're ever going to erect the boost. So getting cheeky with it, Falcons absolutely dominating Vitality on this map. It's also tough to contextualize this, right? So we've been talking about, you know, the potential tired factor for Falcons. They played late, but then they're coming in. This is still an important win for both of these teams. For Falcons, obviously, for the VRS points, as Kixon puts 2 more in the grave, and it's just going to be 1 more to find. And then you look at it for Vitality. They have such a great record this year. Train being one of those maps they've been able to win time after time, but it will not be the case against Falcons. 13-3, the smiles on the faces. That one was quick, it was fast, and it is all over Red Rover. And, well, guess what? We're going to talk to Mike, Alex.
Yeah, I think we should.
Hey, Mike.
Hello! You're my desk now. We get to hang out together. Isn't that so exciting? There were some interesting rounds in that one, right? I mean, despite the fact that the end scoreline is pretty dominant, we started to see the sparks of some Magic Zywoo moments, a little 1v4 without firing a shot. That's a lot of fun.
That was the only way that he was actually going to be able to win that round. So, yeah, it is cool to see them picking up something, but all in all, I would just be happy with this if I'm a Falcons fan, or a Falcons player, more like it. I have a tough time looking at what pros you can take away from this if you are Vitality in that map. There's nothing that you can really say about it, is it? They didn't win the pistol. Their only rounds came from either heroic moments or I don't even want to say, yeah. So it's tough. It was a bit of a clinic being put on by the Falcons, and that's really all you can say about it. But we will say more. I'm sure we will say more. Do you know many Batman villains, Mike?
I do.
How many can you name? Because I think I got through about 4 or 5.
Riddler.
Yeah, I got Riddler in there. Let me write it down.
Riddler, Penguin, Joker. We've got Clayface.
Oh, there you go.
There's Man-Bat.
Oh, there's Two-Face as well.
There's Two-Face.
There's Hugo Strange.
Yes, Hugo Strange is in fact a thing.
Yeah.
I think he's over on the other stream or something.
Yeah. He's going to be doing that Aurora versus Mongols game that's going to be going on. Hello, everybody. We are here. We are in attendance. We got Mike. Well, maybe we host Mike.
Yeah.
You could do that. I'll take an interrogation. What would you like to know?
What were your takeaways from that game, Mike? Because you were watching too.
I was indeed. My takeaways were, it's nice to see Falcons looking sharp. It's nice to see Monacy looking quite sharp. I think he started 10-0 before he finally died.
Yeah, he was getting away with it, wasn't he?
We were talking about in the pregame that we haven't really had one of those Monacy pop-offs in a while, that we've kind of been waiting. You know, last year in that conversation for #1, feels like it's been fading just a little bit here. And so it's nice to have one of those maps where Monacy feels unkillable,
and
where
Nico
it feels like he's dominating.
That last round, I think they lined up when he came out of pop. Like, I think 2 of them were just lined up as he was partially flashed.
And he was flashed.
Exactly, right? So, yeah, that's probably why the mood was at such a high point.
Maybe it's time for Vitality to start playing Ancient.
Okay, hold up a second.
I'm just saying, that train didn't look good. Didn't look good.
We're immediately, fair enough. Let's just change the map pool immediately, I guess.
The conversation's been Inferno out for Overpass for Falcons. Now we're going Ancient in for Train.
Yeah, we're map veto consultants, and it's great because just like all consultants, we don't really know what we're talking about.
Yeah, that's true. We're charlatans around here. But Nuke coming up next, gentlemen. Does anybody want to make a bold pimp-esque prediction?
I just think that what we saw there on Train was simply not good enough.
He was always going
a whole lot better on Vitality.
I'll make a bold prediction. I'll make a bold prediction because I think the particularly troubling thing there is that Vitality talked about it. They talked about it yesterday. Flamesy talked about it in an interview. They've got sick players. Zywoo in particular is one of those players, coming in with 0 energy, I think Apex said in his tweet.
It does seem that way as well.
He might be one of the
He was the only guy who gave them spark plugs, right? He had 2 clutches in a row, one with just the pistol 1v1, but then the defuse as well. And it felt like he was going to get that second half pistol going. You know, Kyosuke Missy with the dualies. So if Zywoo's the only guy who's providing you sparks on that map, and he's the guy who's apparently feeling completely dead, I think that bodes very poorly for Nuke.
Now here's the thing. You do probably need a spark plug for a train. I don't actually know. You definitely need a spark plug for
coal?
It depends on the type of train though, Mike. I'm not a train aficionado. Those trains
if it's a combustion engine,
all I
you need
know
a spark
is those
plug.
spark plugs are expensive.
Well, yes, but I don't think you need a spark plug for Nuke. You need like a nuclear generator, right?
Right. So some sort of
how do you trigger fission? There's something that sparks the fission, right?
We have flames.
Oh, we have Flames to spark the fission here as we're headed into Nuke. We'll see if he can be the catalyst to get Vitality over the line when we come back from this break.
Level up your gaming experience with over 8 billion playlists, only on Spotify, the official audio streaming partner for the 2025 Esports World Cup.
Just gone 12 o'clock local here in Riyadh as we've got Championship Sunday. No champions to be seen here though. In fact, this is the third place decider. Both teams slipping up in the semi and now battling for a little extra in the prize purse. For Vitality, a whole lot more organizationally through that club championship. And now we find Falcons on the other side of things with a very dominant return to form. Train, their map pick, and very comfortable in converting that. Leaves us here. Nuke, a third map between these two.
And different setup for the cast for the final day for Alex and I. It actually puts us with a bit of a perch to see both teams tussling in the server. And well, one of the keys is just how close we are to the players. We just heard Apex, who is a leader of men, trying to will his team to pull some energy. And this is definitely going to be tough for them to get things going. And after train, they didn't have much of it whatsoever.
That's our view. That's essentially the same view we have.
Yes.
And it's pretty cool.
Yeah, this is actually really sick. I would have liked this maybe the whole time.
Yeah,
With a few more bells and whistles. Some CSTV access would be nice. But either way, we'll focus in. The 9th round concluded, and with the celebration, I've made some broad assumptions, Alex. I think that Vitality will be starting on the CT side.
Because they won the knife and made noise.
Yeah, that's not...
Well, they made noise, so they won the knife. That's what we're doing the maths there, because we can't tell you what's happening in the server because we're not in it.
Not yet, anyway.
Ooh.
We're about to be there.
Yep. Get this one started then. And also, you know, we heard from the team talk. I think Apex, not going to tell you exactly what he said, but the summary was, we didn't play like ourselves. Let's play with some confidence.
Yes, that's not a bad way to paraphrase it whatsoever.
Let's get this one started then. Third map. Extra cash to splash. And pride, I think that's a key word as well. Vitality, sure, you're not lifting the trophy, but third sounds a whole lot better than fourth. Especially up against an adversary that pushed you to one of the very best finals we've seen this season over in Melbourne.
Okay, well, that does confirm the CZ side start. And okay.
Not going to be easy to get output of the P250 now. Supposed to be searching, and actually a couple more bullets through the smoke spam. Has Kiyasuke low 2. There's the finish. Onto Nico.
Always had to be. Now, they know bodies have crossed. The rotation down will have to be through ramp.
Actually, you know what? Being in this off-angle hut should be a free frag eventually. Kixon gets a quick one onto Flames. Not ready for that. And now Zaiwu actually adjusting to Tessus. Tessus felt like he should have had that one. Vitality looking to convert comfortably. Kiyasuke with the recovered P250. Doesn't have the headshot required. There it is.
All right, let's go, Maxim. Zoom back in. What do you got for us?
Oh, Zaiwu just backing in the corner. It makes a 1v4 a whole lot more winnable. Grouped up in heaven, they'll double swing him. Doesn't hit that one tap. Robs does, though. Vitality get themselves the pistol.
And this is the thing, somebody else is going to have to join Apex with the energy, right? He can be cheering, he can make some noise. Xtaz can do the same. And I would probably turn to Mezzi, who I think has just been a class act for this team all event long, even when they haven't found their successes. But he isn't going to be able to do this alone, right? And this is one of the things with the leader. If you're doing it and it's falling on deaf ears, it can actually deplete you as the leader too, because you're not getting the output that you require from your members. But the pistol round, that is going to be their 3rd of 5 played so far. It was both of them going in favor of Falcons with their map choice to train. Return to Inferno, that's where Vitality picked up both, and they were necessary because of their slow start. Now we are going to see a force spy coming through, and this is without the bomb going down, so it's interesting to see Falcons going for this level of investment. There's a Galil on Kiyasuke, there's pistol upgrades on everybody else, and there's light utility to get them across to Secret. Kiyasuke will get straight down with that Galil, so he has the best gun to take those type of fights. Kixon is selling a top fake, so a molly-top heart and flashes back sight, and because there's no steps and no extra conviction, the likes of Flamesy and Mezzi will be calling sector clear. We're on board with Apex right now on the jump spot. His closest rotation point will have to be Rops through ramp. There it is. So now, he doesn't actually hustle. So the T's don't try and chase him down. He doesn't par the way quickly. Breaks a window, and oh my God, I can't believe this. Yeah, I can't believe the vent rotation.
It actually had a chance there. Monacy wasn't immediately holding.
That's 2 bad rotations from Flamesy in a row.
Looks like they're going to open the door and smoke. Kiyasuke, though, catches A bullet from Apex's M4 reveals his position. Recovery of the Galil bomb on the back, though. There's Nico. Big one on the opens, the double doors. The jiggling shadow of Robs is tempting him into an extended fight. Hang on, Mezzi. Oh, he catches Monacy coming up the vents. It's going to make it very clear and telegraph where that bomb is going. Man advantage for Falcons to convert this.
Oh, Nico's away now as well. Going to be too late to this. Robs might be able to kill him.
Should have this every day of the week.
Oh, all over. All right, call this one done. Robs ain't winning this 1v3.
Second round, force by conversion. Nico's Deagle fill in the feed. Everyone helping out apart from Kiyosuke. It's Robs to try and rectify, but it feels like it's too far gone. Yeah, and he seems to think the same.
No kid available for this one. Doesn't know where either player really is, so just no point giving that one a go. And the reason I say 2 poor rotations for Flames in a row is because the players were spotted on the pistol round rotating down lower, and then he rotated in and wasn't ready for them already window side. He got blindsided. Then in this one right now, we knew that they were down. Apex spotted 1, which makes you... So one or two things happens there. One is either it's brain lag from him, or the comms are bad. It's like, 1, but I don't believe it. They're just showing face. Come on down. It's one of the two things, because it can't be, well, it could be both, but it can't be neither.
I will say that Apex's in-game body language implied he wasn't too stressed.
Exactly, right, because he didn't quickly just charge in towards the side, because normally you're worried about fast scaling if you get caught in that door and they try and collapse on the other side. But yeah, that's just poor work there from Vitality, and they were trying to really have some energy, and by winning that round, it's not only a force buy victory, it's a force buy without a plant, which is always going to be lighter on. They were working with quite limited resources there, Falcons, so that is a nice round to win. M4 saved, upgrades now for Vitality as the financial tug-of-war begins. The Mag 7 for Apex was the hero on Dust 2 against the Mongols yesterday, and helped split the game open late. A couple of 5.7s and a Deagle. Now Apex in a good position to use that shotgun.
He is.
Or at least he was. Now, less so. He's on his own towards B. So if they just go double door side, which with this much utility, that's what I would be doing. You get window and doors control. You get the smoke from Monacy. You smoke one side, you molly the other. You have players come through window. You have players come through door.
You plant and you win.
And Apex has not been cleared yet. He's about to get contact.
Yeah, and if he wins this one, a Galil would be available for further fights. Here it comes, and their first kill is his. Nico was alone. That's what he reports. Attention drawn, rifle found. Tess is removing flames. Stralis plant. Apex might swing the door open and actually catches kicks and before Monacy gets to him. Hang on, is there more to be done? Zaiwu, empty hands with the Deagle. Mezzi dropping vents loud. Shouldn't be anything more to be said about this one. Mezzi will have a look, nothing to lose. And he does hit that shot into the head of Tessus. Doesn't manage to find the follow-up though.
Yeah, Apex really couldn't have done anything else there. So 1 is great, the second is beautiful, and you're hoping that causes enough chaos for your teammates to be able to capitalize, but they couldn't. And one of the themes that has been happening in a few of the games right now with Vitality since they've been struggling in the second, and I say struggling, right? They've made it to semi-finals in all 3 events they've attended.
Just not matching their output of the previous.
And that's the thing, right? If you become the best team in the world, the expectation is that you are going to be continuing to win trophies. That's not a realistic expectation. You are going to lose eventually. That's something that they had known. And yesterday was their 5th loss of the year, and the first time they had lost to a team twice, that being Mongols. Now, I know this is a 3rd place decider, so it's not weighted the same, but it will still mean something for the confidence of Falcons with a new roster and a new season, knowing that you take down Vitality regardless of the circumstances. And then next time you face them, how much does that confidence help you going up against them again? So as far as the bigger picture is concerned, this is all a continuous flow. We don't just have one tournament. We have continuous tournaments, and they all flow into each other, culminating at the end of each season being the major. And for Falcons, to win right now would be an awful lot of VRS points to help keep them around the bubble for Stage 3. Fun little cams there, highlighting the type of utility lob towards top. Get a Molotov on hub, we get one towards CT vent, and right now, crossing your T's and dotting your I's. That means taking care of business as Kiyosuke opens up the account. Making money right now are Falcons. It's about to be 3-1. And look at him just farming up, just tap, tap, tap it in. And as the kid come and collected 4-3, we'll go down to Mr. Cool,
who would love to find himself the retrieval of Kiyosuke's rifle. I wonder if he can go all the way through, under, back up and grab it.
He's planning the moves through the labyrinth.
Yeah, I don't fancy his chances. And Monacy doesn't either.
Now, maybe you weren't up so early. You were sleeping in on your Sunday. You might have been out last night. You had a big one. You missed map 1, you missed map 2. To be honest, you didn't really miss a lot. Map number 1, Inferno, it started out 8-4 in favor of Falcons, but that was on their T side. And then they were non-starters on their CT side. They got one round, and then Vitality just had their way with them. You move into Train, that was damn quick. It was absolute stomping. Falcons were just destroying them left, right, and center, and the only rounds that Vitality were able to pick up were quite labored or quite lucky. The 1v4 defuse was just Falcons maybe getting a little bit ahead of themselves. Right now, 3-1, T-side Nuke, great start. First rifle round would continue to add to that. As Zamu goes and starts Red Pole, he will hit Kyosuke, make his dip down early towards Secret, but there's a secondary wave of support. Nico top main kicks it, and Monacy now pathing around Red. It's a mystery how many bodies are down. Apex is about to find out, especially if he hangs around in this aggressive port of call. That smoke's about to fade, and does.
Yeah, he backs away.
Speaking of Util, just one smoke left on Zawu, and he has pinned Red Pole, Alex. So he is unable to contribute, and it feels like they have a good idea where he could be.
Yeah, but that flash was a bit lacking follow-through. Nico still gets flames as a product of it, though. So Zawu's position noted. Monacy crawling lower.
Neither Kixon or Monacy have the smoke to scuttle forward, so this won't be the standard approach out single. They're just going to have to do it with the bodies.
Apex is hearing that. Might get a back turned here. Yeah, he does. A free frag onto Kyosuke, but Monacy plants regardless. This is going to be really volatile now. Monacy beats Apex. Oh, that's massive. You'll have to trust me on that one. A 2v2, low HP. Monacy, hey, he still hits the headshot onto Rops. Down.
Oh, the nade.
Awkward. Yep, watch out. Mezzi's safe. They double up. Double swing. Another frag for Monacy on the rifle. He's doing it all, but it falls to Kixon.
No kit.
He got it in him. A 10-second defuse. No time. Zaiwu, it's not looking good. The odds are against you. And he calls the bluff on that first defuse. That should seal the deal. No time for the defuse. A 4th round for the Falcons. Kixon finishes off what Monacy started. In the absence of Kyosuke, Apex had to go down there. No one was close. No one could have stopped that defuse, or at least not easily. So an important frag and an important sequence from Monacy again on the rifle. You've got to be able to do both. Monacy certainly can.
Yeah, I think when you just look at Train and the performance he was finding there, sure, it wasn't necessarily all with the rifle, but Monacy is definitely finding some form today. And I joked, right? I was like, oh, yeah, Kyosuke, Monacy, these young Russian teens, they used to staying up late at night playing face and then getting up and doing it again the next day. And that's essentially what's happening right now. Because there's no point making secret of the fact that this team, when they lost last night, it was burning the midnight oil local. And then today to come in and have an early start time, we're talking 10 a.m. as we've touched upon to kick off this last map. It is a whole lot later in the day. It's 12:22, but still, your call time, you're going to have to get in a shuttle probably about 8:30, maybe even earlier, and then you get here, you warm up. It's tough to sleep after a loss. I can tell you that as a fact. I did a lot of losing in my career.
And, you know, as someone who was a former teenager, I can say that 8 a.m. wasn't so nice.
Yeah, okay, well, with our powers combined, I started at 45, so yeah, I can't relate to that part.
Straight out of the womb, shaking his fist at the sky. All right, Apex is going to flash for Rops on his call.
Apex is, remember he's had the signature Scout, it's now the signature Mag 7. I wonder if it would be next year.
Yeah, he likes to find his preference. And Robs, able to get anything started off the flash.
Well, they're ready to run at these yard attackers. You can see Unbreakable for Zai with Mezzi ready to push through the main smoke, or they're on the fade, Flamesy as well. So at least 3 of them were close enough to try and duel this, but the slower pace has got them searching elsewhere. Smoke start to fade, they investigate Squeaky, and maybe they want to try and push into lobbies. I was also dropped back, and that's the wrong play. They were in the right place, but not anymore.
Kyosuke advancing, Flames spotted, good work, 5-7, perfect range, and AK within retrieval. Puts it to good use for another. It's all just a consolation prize, though. Falcons, again, light work.
How's this for a figure? In the last 22 rounds of play, Vitality of 1-4.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
That sounds about right. And it's the Falcons' D-sides that have been really running away with it. Kicks in, of course, obviously a big part of those T sides. He is the one making the calls. You can see that motor mouth there moving.
Okay, this has happened in every single match so far. We've gone, okay, well, then the AWP comes out. Can it make the difference? Zywoo, we know he's feeling unwell. It's not one of these things, though, where we're looking to make excuses for the players, just reporting what we've been told. And the history books won't read, oh, he was not feeling great.
Yeah, we don't have an icon on HLTV for that.
So he needs to draw one back now that m0NESY's found first blood in round number 7. Desperately, I would say.
This one much more ahead of the play. 2 players rotate lower.
Oh, the AWP pinned back a warehouse, has to get past Nico, and now the lower fight comes.
Kiyasuke gets the shadow, spots him out, only the one. Important trade from m0NESY, keeps us level. Zywoo goes down.
I bet he can't believe someone's still top main with 35 seconds on the clock.
Falcons have got this weird, like, extra level of patience. We saw it on Train too, even in those 2v4s when they get the early numbers, like, they weren't in any hurry. They're really showing some diligence. They're showing some refined counter-strike on their T side.
Yeah, they are very poised right now, and I think that this is just really going to sting for Vitality, right? This isn't going to be a condemning mark on their record, but it's definitely looking like it could be another loss added to the tally that has been the near-perfect season into what was a pretty spotless record. And I think that these losses just give confidence to the other teams, especially the teams who are on the bubble, on the cusp of definitely contending for titles. It's, again, once more with the context of it being a third-place decider, it's not weighted the same as the loss to Mongols or the loss to Maus. But it still could potentially be a loss. And you and I had the fortunate position of being able to hear Apex trying to bring some energy before this map got underway. And it started so well. You win that pistol, and now you find yourself in a hole already. You're having a battle back on the CT side again. This is the exact same feeling that you just had on Train. And like this is it. You cannot force your team to you can't make them find that energy.
You
can try.
control.
You can only do so much. This
Absolutely.
is where hey, it's tough. I really don't know how they can get it flowing. I don't even know if it's possible.
Change the things you can. Accept the things you can't. And the wisdom to know the difference. Sure, they're low energy, but what can you control? You can control where your crosshair's placed. You can control what you say. And you can, perfect. Position yourself in the corner for one. There's an important trade from Kiyasuke. They're not in a rush of the Falcons. Multiple fronts under pressure at the same time. Flames under scrutiny here from Kiyasuke. Kicks and working lower. Already claims control as Rops looks to surge into lobby. An important trade of territory. Tessis is actually making a move here. Hang on. Comes on out towards T-Vent. Now, m0NESY hasn't revealed his position. He is vulnerable to a m0NESY jiggle, but hasn't gone wide enough. There it is. Tessis down. Kiyasuke's come from behind. You're not ready for that one. Flames in the heart. Is Kiyasuke ready for this close angle? He is now. Spots the shoulder. 3-on-3, 20 seconds. Where's that bomb going? m0NESY bringing it in towards this top side. It's a good move. Kiyasuke's flank has opened up this side. They use their util well. Still have to get across Flames' sight line, but not a problem for m0NESY.
No, not at all. Bomb will be planted. Now it's going to be a 2v3 situation. Zywoo and Rops with their powers combined. Can they clutch this one up?
What? Zywoo's holding for him. m0NESY peeks in and executes.
Okay, well, that AWP advantage, like death by 1,000 paper cuts there for poor Vitality. They're able to go 1-for-1 with the opener, but then just all the space that they don't have to work with is taken away from them, and then they get punished for it as this will be another round on the board, 7-1. And that's an AWP available if he can get his hands on it. Bomb is going to detonate, so he should be able to grasp that. It's just been thrust back to the back of warehouse, so no problems picking it up, and we'll be able to give that to Zywoo.
Something.
Yeah. This is probably the most difficult position to contextualize I've found myself in a very long time.
Right.
Because these third place deciders, they're relatively new. It's something that PGO had brought in this year. We had the pleasure of casting one earlier on, and it was a different context. It was an arena, and it was still like early on within the season, and we're finding out how teams were functioning. That event also didn't have all of the big names. This is right now two of the hugest names, and two of the orgs that spend a lot of money, two of the orgs who here at EWC are in the money, I will say, in terms of the club championship. And then you look at Falcons, who are under all this public scrutiny, right? If you're going to spend this money, you expect results. If you're going to have names like they have in the survey, you're going to expect results. And this win will do an awful lot for this team's confidence considering the circumstances. This is one that builds resolve, right? Winning a victory like this. Oh, boys, we were tired, we got knocked out, we were up against Vitality, but we still did it, we lost that one. But then you think, okay, but this is Vitality, they're depleted, they're here for the trophy, they're not here to be runners-up, but their org wants them to win because it's worth an extra $1 million. So it's just, it's such a weird puzzle to try and piece together.
What I will say, and what I think my main takeaway will be, is more from the Falcons angle of, you know, you haven't come away with the trophy. I'm sure that was, you know, organizationally demanded. But you take a third place, you take a scalp off Vitality, and the most important part of that is that for what comes next, I think the way you've contextualized that as far as being tired, not converting yesterday, and you come in and you put a T-side you can be proud of up against the world #1. Hang on. Zywoo, nice 2 in the feed, defends that top side pace change. Bomb has slipped lower though. No one is there to acknowledge, with Kixon in a position to catch the secret stair rotation.
Oh, you have to win this, boys. You can't let this one slip through. You can't.
Weird trade of places.
If Kixon keeps searching because he heard there's Apex steps and doesn't find anything, this is actually valuable time considering we're now at the 42nd mark. And now Monacy needs to know that it's a possibility because Kixon says, I don't know where he went, mate. And Apex doesn't know what's going on either. So right now there are some massive gaps. Robs will be able to acknowledge down from ramp side. Do you go back up the vent to A? That's still possible.
Yeah, looks like he's looking. There's Flames.
There it is. Okay, so look, mandatory round considering the scoreline already. Monacy gives it a good go. They still have more than enough finances for another buy, so you'll throw that one in. There's just more to reflect upon with Vitality as well, and I'm not trying to be a Vitality apologist to make excuses for them, but this is the most studied team in Counter-Strike at the moment. There's no doubt about that. You have the target on your back coming out of the break into this season. You are faltering, quote-unquote, right? You're not living up to your legendary, unbeatable, immortal status, and that's what you've had to the whole year. You're clearly struggling to find the energy and the ideas necessary in this current context. You had 2 matches in the last 2 tournaments, one against Mongols, one against Maus, where you'd played against those teams so much that you were essentially prac partners, right? And they're able to download every time and slowly figure out over the course of an entire season how to beat you. And I talk about it, right? Especially in the match yesterday, it's the mark of a champion. Like, if they want to get back to the top, they are going to have to win those games. Despite of all those factors. Oh my God.
Goodness.
Look at the timing.
Perfect, picture perfect timing from Kiyosuke. Ooh, bit of damage back from Apex through the smoke, but that is naughty. Okay, Robs gets overlooked. Where's that trade? They're coming in. It's important from Kixon through the flames. Zywoo takes a risk, costs him half of his health, but a 4v2. Zywoo dropping in, both responsible for a site each.
Had a good idea on it, gave the 1v4 a go, but it's just such a hollow situation, isn't it? Falcons flying high right now. Great to see Kiyosuke finding these timings on the yard control on the T side, right? This is one of the things, when you look at the positions, they didn't give him all of the most glamorous spots, but they gave him an awful lot of them. Yeah. And one of them is taking these spaces outside, and the timing there was perfect, right? Absolutely perfect for the young man.
Just going down the ladder.
And also, right, the red pole players there, the smoke just plumes. He's in it immediately coming in. Mezzi is not expecting it to be there straight away. I look straight at Mezzi. He didn't get tilted. He's like, okay, well, this happens, and it's definitely in this game. The best they can get now is 4.
Ooh. Oh, that felt like a real must hit. Okay, makes up for it. As does Nico. immediately trades. No Zywoo for Vitality, but they have still got plenty. Mezzi reveals his presence on the ramp side. Now the question is, where's Robs? If he's not ramp, where could he be? Okay. Silo removed. 2 on 4. They're coming back towards Mezzi's ramp hold. Tucked on the back box. He'll force you to clear him here. And he could get some info on his next time.
Definitely 1 kill.
Peeking out left side.
Surely 1 kill.
But where's his friend? Where's his friend? Just in the blind spot,
Okay,
Mezzi.
well done.
Steps up, well handled.
Whew.
They need every round.
Yeah,
they need every single round.
It goes that saying at this point, doesn't it? When we had 6 rounds in the last 27 played.
Still in the 3rd map, of course.
Yeah, no, of course, of course. And we were saying the same thing on Train. We actually said the same thing last night on Nuke against the Mongols. Oh, if they... Actually, they were on the T side, though, to start against the Mongols, weren't they? So...
8
This is extreme difficult mode.
rounds. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, Falcon CT woes, there has been some.
This is how do you punish yourself? Yeah, end up with an 8-4 CT half, 3rd map, with $1 million on the line for your organization. All right, well, a tactical timeout called. Falcons wanting to make sure that they do get 9 going into the halftime break, and they've still got the money to do so. Tessus is the only one with a mission in the firepower department, and that's going to be a Galil. Money's going so well late for Vitality, they can even leave an MP9 at spawn. Isn't that a luxury? Everyone has kits, everyone has head armor, full belts and nades. Everything they need to secure this 4th, but before we head to that 2-minute break. Looks like direct, and they want to start by punishing Ramp. Robs has actually started down B, so there's a void on this position, and who's going to rotate into it? It's going to be Apex, the poor guy. He's late to this. He can't contend this. Has to give it over.
Does concede it. Look at Tessus, just immediately pushes the incendiary, and they have to concede ramp.
A great context cam there, really showing exactly what was going down. Empty parks in the hut. As they wait for lobby reaggress, you lose one part of the map, you have to take another. But because they already had players started down lower, it feels that they are fortified for this for now.
Oh, Flames wanted to have a look and confirms a lot of presence in lobby.
Damn.
Kiyasuke into Zywoo. Zywoo bests him.
Ross needs help.
It's like he's going to need a lot more than just himself here. Here's confirmation. Util sails over. He will be double swung. Tessus gets it. Wow, he's got a lot out of that, Galil, hasn't he? Takes the space in the first engagement. This time he enters the bomb site and secures the round. Flames and Mezzi, they may disagree with me. I don't think that's going to happen.
No, try as they might. That's going to be that. 9-3 on the half. Another commanding T side for the Falcons. Just a handful of rounds away from taking up this 3rd place decider over Vitality.
right, let's get ourselves this third, fourth place wrapped up. Falcons Vitality, and it's Falcons that definitely look to have the sharper talons. It's 9-3 and 9 being on the T side of Nuke. Vitality are certainly up against it, staring down the barrel of a volcano they must climb. And it looks like pace is going to be the remedy. Tessus doesn't think so, neither does Kixon. 2-3 in the feed, in the defense. Okay, well, that's one way to really suck the air and energy out of the other side of the room, immediately putting them back to spawn with another round to Falcon's name.
Well, look, if we're going to go with the X's and O's and talk about the numbers, it's 3 for 3 for Pistols, but the problem is for Vitality in this map, they won the opening, they lost the Force. They lost the Force to a team that didn't even get the bomb down, and right there, that's where this map really started to go wrong for them. Apex tried as he might to bring that energy coming out of their break between the maps, and it's just not enough. The players aren't here today. They're unable to scrounge up what is required, and Falcons, you can see they clearly really want this win. This one is not just about the context of, you know, okay, we come third at EWC, which is essentially their home tournament. You've played against Vitality 4 times this year so far. This is the 5th outing, and this would be their first victory. There's been 2 losses coming in grand finals, 1 coming in a semi. And maybe this is some form of revenge. I think the mentality going forward for Vitality, this isn't going to be a loss where they're going to sit and go, okay, well, yeah, they're better than us. This isn't just where they haven't shown up today. And I don't know how many dents they can take before they really do start to crumble. When your expectations are grand finals and winning trophies, and at the moment you still can't make it to one of those, it's tough. It is very tough.
Nice shot, Zaiwu. His name in the feed, and he was really the only investment, so sure, it might lead to a plant. That would be nice for the next round to come, but Kixon should be able to have a field day here. Ammunition light, double kill. Tessus the perfect weapon for the job, and Zaiwu's Deagle overcome.
Yeah, bought enough time there, didn't he, for that rotation to come in and help join him for that lockdown. So well handled, taking care of business right now. I don't know, does Kyosuke always sit like that?
What?
Or is he a bit more casual right now?
I think he has the chair always reclined, kind of like.
And then once he dies, he goes into reclined position. Okay. Well, do I need to say it?
I don't think you do. I think everyone knows what's up. One team looking a whole lot more comfortable than the other. And Falcons simultaneously just going to be feeding into the rivalry further by denying the organization an extra $1 million. Okay, well, it is just a meat grinder yard. Apex Zai will go down to Monacy and Nico, as easy as that. Okay, of course, Mezzi gets caught on the next spam through the window. So he's walking at 30.
Yeah, the history books are definitely going to say Falcons over Vitality in this matchup, but the context of this is one that we'll only really be able to tell the ramifications of in future tournaments.
Yeah, how much does it bolster a team's confidence to be able to say we beat Vitality 13-3 or whatever it may be?
And the other way as well, right? So for Vitality, when they go into the next event, they can definitely use a lot of, I don't want to say excuses, but rationale as to why this was such a whimper, as to why they had lost yesterday to the Mongols. But unless it's backed up, unless it's followed through with a different type of result going forward, this could be what is the beginning of the demise of the once great season. And all we can do is sit and witness what is unfolding in our very eyes. Door swings open.
Oops.
And
that's
takes
not
down
ideal.
his teammates. So it's just going to be one man.
Is it possible to lose gracefully? Rob certainly seems to think so, giving it a real good shake of the stick, but in the blind spot, Tessus resides. It's 12-3. Just one more round. That's exactly what the Falcons comms will be saying. Just one. Make it clean, make it easy, before Vitality remember who they are.
Yeah, well, that happened once before, didn't it, Melbourne? 12-6, this very map, best of 5 final.
Good point.
And they definitely remembered who they were. Zaiwu happened, he won a massive clutch, but this one is not in reach. This one is not possible. And this one, I'm thinking Vitality just want to be done and dusted with. They have to shove their investments. Bleak, 2 Tech 9s, Mac 10, 2 Galils, Still to a smoke wall yard. Still try and find some progression. This is looking like back-to-back 13-3 victories. Absolutely stomped out.
Yeah, Inferno, the only kind of exception.
And that's a map we know is a weakness for them.
Oh my God, they actually can't get past Nico every single time. They've tried to get across this yard. They've lost bodies again. 2 casualties for Vitality just to get the basics. Just to get across. Kixon gets 1. Flames with the Mac-10 leaping around the corner. Received by Nico. And he's finished it with style, hasn't he? Triple kill from Nico. Now the rest just have to put it in. Robs goes maneuvering forward. Trying to sow seeds of doubt with a cut of noise. Now a reveal. Yo! And Kiyosuke steps in. He backed his aim. Allows Robs to make another. Odyssey is low.
They heard him off. They know he stepped.
25 and counting. Trying to chase him through the vents. Tassis considers that as an option. Flash from the ramp side. He's piecing together their location and whereabouts, but with only 15 seconds. Feels like Robs has let that clock get a little too thin.
Well, now you have to stick it.
Can Monacy run him down in time? I don't think so.
Oh,
gets off it.
That's the round.
Time.
Just live. Oh, this is going to be close.
He's got it.
Oh!
Wait. Tessa's opened the door and that's it. So close to something, but Falcons, a masterful conversion. 13-3, the magic number twice.
Elation on one side of the server, Somber on the other. A third place decider, never easy, especially when you had your sights on returning to the glory of the grand finals. Vitality come into the Esports World Cup 2025. They take down Liquid 2-0. They take down Tyloo 2-0. They lose to the Mongols, which happened just a week ago in Bounty. The Mongols will find themselves in the grand final going up against Aurora next. And for Apex, it's going to be a frustrating day. I don't think this is something that is going to stick with him. I don't think this is something that, you know, is definitely going to be our expectation of what to come from Vitality. No. But considering what he tried to bring, he definitely brought the energy, right? He was someone who was trying to rally the troops, and that's all he can really do, right? Yesterday against the Mongols, he did have a tougher time on Nuke, but today he came in, he was hitting some shots, he was making some plays, he was asking his boys to bring the same, and they were unable to bring that for him today, which, you know, if ZywOo's sick, if they're unwell, you can talk about all of that, but at the end of the day, the result stands. Yeah. Falcons, what would it be, 26-6 in the last 2 maps of play round-wise. So that is a domination statistic. Yeah,
damning statistic for sure. I think, you know, from the Vitality's camp, I'm sure it's easy for them. I like the word you used as far as rationale upon their return. They'll have a lot to say, but perhaps so will the victor. Nico standing by with Mike.
I have Nico here. Nico, it was a quick turnaround from last night's game, right? Tough loss last night. How did you reset in between then and now?
Yeah, I mean, we had to reset, you know, I don't know how, but we did. We obviously talked, we knew that this game is super important for us, for the VRS points, for our confidence as well. The game yesterday was very tough, you know, the loss that we had, especially on train. I'm glad that we didn't kind of end on that note, that we got the opportunity to show better CS today, and I'm just proud of the boys that we really showed up today, you know. We didn't have much rest, not much sleep, no prep, and but you know, starting again very bad on first map and then bouncing back very strong on the last 2. Super happy right now, and I'm glad that we kind of got the chance, you know, to have one more game after losing the semifinal.
And I mean, the games you've had here as well, some big names that you've taken. Revenge against G2, always fun, but MOUZ and Vitality, 2 big scalps when we look at the standings. Is this a Falcons team that's now ready to take on anyone?
I mean, we obviously felt ready coming to this event, you know, and I have kind of mixed feelings, you know. We beat MOUZ and Vitality, but then we lose to Aurora, so it's kind of hard to say where we stand right now, you know. But we are showing progress, and that's for me super important. We obviously want to try to, you know, reach our peak a bit later on in the season. You know, we are still a young team discovering new roles on a lot of the maps. So yeah, I'm just happy that we are very competitive now with the big dogs, and yeah.
I'm glad you mentioned the maps, because I don't know if you've seen the discourse on Twitter, but there's one Harry Russell who's petitioning to get Overpass in there. Any consideration towards that?
I mean, you know, Inferno hasn't been really going too well for us. We'll see. There's a lot, you know, to think about when it comes to this map. We haven't been the strongest even with the previous roster, we had some, you know, tough losses on this map so far. But who knows? We'll see.
We will see indeed. Obviously, this is a special event for you and the organization. Any last message to the fans here?
Yeah, indeed, a very special event for us and for our organization. It sucks that we couldn't close out the game last night and play the final today, but I just want to thank for all the support and all the fans that showed up throughout this whole event. It was kind of unexpected how it went. We didn't really expect to be, you know, this loud and that these people would show up. So thank you for the support, and we at least got to third place.
Thank you, Nico. Congratulations on the win.
Yeah, at least third place. It's better than fourth.
Yeah, for sure. You know, normally you get a bronze medal for that type of situation if it was the Olympic Games.
That would be nice.
So look, I think that this win will have ramifications for the mental of Falcons going forward. Nico touching on this being a new team. Again, another roster change. They keep making them within this team, don't they? But we all know it's about them searching for major victories. That's what this is. You get the best players, you put them in one team, you want to be lifting the biggest of trophies. And I think if we can take a look through the highlight package, you're going to see an awful lot of Monacy throughout this. He was definitely finding a lot of impact throughout this entire series. It's good to see him finding that type of form. When you look at the X's and the O's, we were 3-3 in terms of pistols. I just think, you know, the energy wasn't there for Vitality that was necessary to draw them into this by any stretch of the imagination. So, look, a great win for Falcons, and it's one that I'm sure will help them going forward. But yeah, when you take down G2, what Mike was just mentioning, Mouse, those are
That's big.
I think those are the bigger wins, right? The loss to Aurora, Nika saying, oh, we don't really know where to place ourselves. I think Aurora are trying to do the same. So we'll have to see how they fare against Mongols in the grand final, which, Mike, I don't know what the time is. You got to watch on, mate. It should be pretty soon.
It'll be very soon indeed. There's just a little bit of housekeeping that we need to do before we get into that. One key element, we need to declare our Sony MVP. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe it's going to be one Mr. Monacy.
Oh, you are correct right there. So, yeah, he's had a great series, hasn't he? Some flicky moves on the AWP, some great work on the rifle, but we'll be getting that to a second. Here it is. There you go. Look at that.
Look at that. It's exactly what we were talking about in the pregame. Exactly what you want to see for this team is this guy, I mean, we know what he can do. We know what an incredible player he is. We know the highlights that he can show us on the AWP or really anything, and it's nice to see him being himself.
Well, that's it, right? The expectation of all the players within this team, right? Especially the three superstars, Kyosuke, Monacy, and Nico, is of the highest. And when you started off in Cologne, and Nico has a very good first map, and so does Monacy, and then they've kind of ghosted for the next event in play. Then they didn't go and play Bounty. They opted not to go there for different reasons. I think the online CS, as well as the fact that there's some visa issues going on for young Kyosuke too, is to where they're a mission. So some good signs now. They're not going to London coming up next. They won't be competing there. So it'll be a little bit longer until we see them back in the server. So more practice, and maybe, you were talking about the map pool, maybe something changes.
He was smiley about Overpass.
Yeah, he read the tweet. You could tell he'd read the tweet.
Okay.
And he's thinking about it. But one thing that's also nice, right, even though they will be missing these events, they had mentioned it was a risk, but now they've secured themselves, I believe, at least 6th in the VRS.
It was like 66 points or something they got for this game.
If Aurora wins, they're 6th. If Aurora loses, they're 5th. I believe is how it's going to work out. So that puts you in very good standing for the major. And not as worried about one loss here or there.
If we do talk about the major, the cutoff is going to be the 6th of October. So there is, you know, still a couple of months worth of play. But in terms of where they find themselves right now, that's great, because everybody knows you want to be in stage 3, especially if you're one of these bigger organizations. So it is a big win for that standpoint. I think for Vitality, who we've got over here, Rops is doing an interview. I can't believe he's having to do that right now, considering. Yeah, I'm just hoping that this isn't a blemish on their mental that is really going to stay with them. You hope that they're able to bounce back from this, because just how good they were in that first half. This is the best season of Counter-Strike we've ever seen, right? That first season. And this second so far, we're 3 events deep. It hasn't lived up to that. And the problem is they have to go play in a couple days' time. So I don't know how they're going to pull themselves out of it.
That's the hard part. I have... you know, I think it's very important, because you know how we talk about staying on top being such a difficult task, and that's why such a strong season is so impressive, because you did stay on top. So letting your foot off the gas a little bit, semi-final exits, I don't think that's anything to be ringing any alarm bells about, especially when you know, players are sick, players are tired, etc. You are just playing, and you're getting on another plane to go and do it again. I wouldn't be surprised if you don't see the upswing, you don't see the silverware until you have an extended break.
The question is, when do you have that break, right? Because last season they built in time, they built in slots in the season to get a little bit of a breather, and this time it's been back to back to back to back to back. They haven't really had the opportunity to just reset.
A bit of a break after London, I think, before they go to EPL, and then they would also be in stage 2 of EPL, so they won't have to be there for the first week. But I also start searching for that. How do you reinvent yourself, or do you need to reinvent yourself? Like, how much of a problem do they feel? Because again, most studied team, do you do something like, okay, let's change up a couple of spots, right? Or do we change some approaches on certain
that was
maps?
what they were doing when they were their very best. Remember, because you were name playing, and it was constantly like,
Rops is
look,
here,
Rops is here, Messi's there.
Exactly. They even tried it today. They tried it today on the first gunner on Inferno, for example.
Just wasn't working.
Yeah, I would love to see how Apex and Xtaz solve this going forward.
We'll do a quick check-in with the bracket just to remind you of how we got here, because there is one more match that we need to set up.
Of course.
And that is, of course, the grand final. We've come all the way to the end. There is one more match to get through.
From
one of Aurora
to 1.
And one of the Mongols.
What was your favorite match so far, Mike? Excluding the grand final, which we're yet to see, which is going to go all 5.
I wasn't actually on it, but watching from my hotel room, that Aurora Falcons game last night was pretty enjoyable. The third map, quite wild, and just a lot of fireworks all the way through. It is always fun to watch the Mongols, though, and the fact they did it again against Vitality. This team is just so exciting right now. Blitz, Techno popping off.
Yeah, Techno was great yesterday, wasn't he? I'm just taking a look. I think the biggest flop of the game that Alex and I had the pleasure of casting was Aurora Heroic. So that one right there was very, very flat. In terms of the best match
G2 Falcons was fun.
That was fun.
I enjoyed 3D Max as well.
Yeah, even though the G2 Falcons game, was a 2-0, I still think there's some positive signs for G2. Excited to see more of them.
There are definitely. We've seen some quality losses from them and some more exciting maps as well. But we are going to wrap up here. It is time for that grand final, so we're not going to take any more of your calendar up. It's time for Arcadia top plays of the day and for us to get out of here.
Supposed to heal. Why do I feel like I can live for hours? The pain that's in my throat continues to grow. They say it'll get better. How can we wait water, dry like the cinders in the flame. Now it's time.
Mr. Justin sent me one singular revolution case. If this one case of yours, Justin, was the rare special item, but everyone else is sending in 10, sending in 20, and you're just... Apologies for the audio on this one, guys. I recorded the whole video, and at the end I realized my microphone was actually off. So I've had to grab the audio from the camera and try and use some kind of AI on it to make it sound better. It's not great, but I hope you still enjoyed the video. What up, everybody? Welcome back to accepting your trade offers. Now, these trade offers are trade offers that I accepted probably a couple of months ago now. I've been getting a few messages from you guys like, I've sent you the items. I haven't seen the video yet. Did you scam me? Rest assured, your items are safe right here in this storage unit. 426 items to be precise. But when I was having a cleanup of my PC, I accidentally, pretty stupidly, deleted the file capturing me accepting all your trade offers so I could read all of those juicy messages. However, looking at my trade history, I can probably just about figure out which trades were what and who sent them, but we still can't see the messages, unfortunately. We have a lot of these to get through, so I say we dive straight in. Yaron sent me 6 cases, a USPS Dartwater, and a StatTrak Zeus Olympus. Let's use your StatTrak Olympus first. I'm guessing you want to hit that AK-47 Inheritance. I think that would probably be the best outcome of the entire contract. AK Azzy might not be too bad, along with the Tamukau, and possibly the Nightmare. first contract of the video. This one's for you, Garen. 3, 2, 1. Inheritance. Oh, it's not that bad, you know. This should hopefully be in Factory New. Nice. Smook in Factory New and stat track. About $200. Let's take your Dark Water and see what we can do with that. Not the best odds, but we'll throw in a gold brick for you as well from the Ancient Collection. You could get a Pampero Onza from that, but the AK we would prefer is obviously the Case Hardened and 661 pan. So let's go. 3, 2, 1. Let's not see the R8. Oh dear. For Reparino, which leaves your cases. First up, the Operation Broken Fan case. Statistically, my luckiest case that I've ever opened. Oh, yeah, that's not bad. The Monster Man. Then we got a Kilowatt. I guess you are really searching for that AK-47 inheritance, aren't you? Failed to get in the trade up. Oh, the Chrome Cannon goes past as well. We got a Broken Fang for that shot at a Butterfly Knife. That would be unreal. Hope you get it, Aaron. Nope. A Shattered Web case. That Orb Containment Breach would be sweet. Nope. Gallery case. I like the Vaporwave, personally. And then last but not least, with a Weapon Case 2. That's super random. Are you just trying to troll me? Are you hoping I get a certain skin that I will not mention? Let's see what this Weapon Case 2 has in store for us. It's the FAMAS Hexane. Bluetooth sent me this one. A whole bunch of classifieds with no actual skin to put in it. And then we have a low float train collection contract. Then a couple of carved jades from the Ancient. And these crazy ones from the Militia collection. I seem to remember him wanting 2 10% Modern Hunter attempts. So let's go for it. First up, we'll use these low float trains that you sent me. You sent me 9 of them, meaning I have to put in the remaining 1 item. I'm actually going to put in the remaining 3 items. We're going to go Gods and Monsters collection and hope we can hit a sick mil-spec. Gods and Monsters in 3, 2, 1. This is for you. Oh, boo. Let's try your mil-spec trade-ups. You gave me a couple of all-carved jades. Guess you probably want to hit something from the Ancient collection, so I wish you the best of luck. The suspense. Oh, nice, the gold brick. That one took a while to come through. And finally, your 2 10% Modern Hunter trade-ups. I haven't checked the price of the M4A4 Modern Hunter in a while, but in Factory New, it's $413. That would be a nice one to hit. First one up, let's count it down. 3, 2, 1. Model Hunter. Oh, the Nitro. Another 10%. Let's do it for you, Drew 2. 3, 2, 1. Modern Hunter. Oh, Nitro. And your final contact, Drew 2. Since you sent me 8 classified fillers and I have to fill the other 2, one's going to be the Glucaxia for the fade, and the other one I am going to spend a hell of a lot of money on just for you with this Factory New Negev Molly. These are currently priced at $3,200. So this would be a ginormous rip if the 80% comes through and we see our arch nemesis, the Blood and the Water. But you helped me out with the number 1 Dragon Lore contract, and so hopefully if the 10% comes through I can reward you with a Factory New gun there. That would be incredible. 3, 2, 1. Factory New Gungnir for Drew. Please no Blood Nut Water. I know it's 80%, but I really don't want to see it. Bad times. Trilith sent me 3 classified items. Those being the Apep's Curse, the Krakow, and the Rainbow Spoon. Unfortunately, Trilith, the conditions of what you send me aren't exactly ideal for this contract. However, I have filled absolutely everything else up with Factory New items for you, so I'm thinking because of this well-worn, we might get a minimal wear outcome. Let's hope it goes better than the last one. There are some juicy options in here. I think our Orb Lightning Strike would be really nice, along with the Be the Monster. 3, 2, 1. Trilith, good luck. Oh, that's actually not too bad, you know. It's been a while since I hit an Orb Lightning Strike, and this is one of the best float possible outcomes because it's Factory New. I do think, unfortunately, we did still lose money on it, but I don't think you lost money on it, and that's the important thing. Then we have Pungridge, who sent me a StatTrak Monster Mashup and a StatTrak Turbo Peak. I'm not entirely sure which items you're trying to go for with the Turbo Peak. Maybe you like the AK Elite Museo, but I know from the Monster Mashup you're probably wanting the M4A1S Print Stream, which has about 5% in this contract. We also got a few other juicy options I added, like an Alt Print Stream or another Damuk out. Let's test your luck. See what happens. 3, 2, 1. Let's go Print Stream. Oh, that's bad. I'm sorry, dude. Next up, we have Random Time, who sent me a bunch of restricted filler. I don't really know what you want from this one, but we'll add in a Dark Water for you for the chance of that AK-47 case hardball. We'll add in, if this isn't low flow, yeah, it's not, we'll add in this glitched paint for you as well. And then we might as well add in this other Dark Water as well. Even a higher chances at the AK-47 case hardened. You could also hit Nouveau Rouge. We do have very high odds for some other less desirable items. I would love to give you back a case hardened, especially a blue gem one. So let's count this down. 3, 2, 1. Case hardened. Oh, another array. Next up, For the King sent me a Galil AR Phoenix Blacklight. And in my little messages here that I wrote to myself, it says 1 times restricted. If it hits, go for X-ray. So I guess if this hits, we will try to chain it up to an X-ray for you, because that's what you wanted. We want to see an Orc Silk Tiger, or you want to see a Mac 10 Hot Snake. Very low odds, but let's do it. 3, 2, 1. Havoc Collection. Oh, another R8. I'm sick of seeing those R8s. New Jeans Enjoyer sent me a Hellfire. I believe you're going to be after that Orc Oni Taji. There are some other cool options in here. We can get an Orc Azimorph, but this contract will give us about a 5% at the Orc Oni Taji, which should come out in factory new if a hit. For the 1 in 20, let's get it. 3, 2, 1. Hydra or Lection. Oh, it's not the worst outcome, but also not the best. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 Cool sent me 6 cases and a Desert Eagle Fennec Fox. That 10% Orb Desert Hydra contract. We're gonna start with that one because you're a crazy, crazy man. We've got Desert Eagle Hypnotic, which I added for Lightning Strike. Target Acquired, which I added for the Orb Fade, and then we have your Fennec Fox giving us about 30% of something good. Rest is unfortunately trash. 3, 2, 1. Orb Desert Hydra. Oh, it's not that bad, you know. The Orc Fade, it could have been a hell of a lot worse. I think that's a pretty high percentage fade on that Orc as well. I believe the Orc Fade in factory new, $870, is worth more than the Fennec Fox in minimal wear, $270. Yeah, man, you made profit. Happy days. If we check out the fade percentage on that bad boy, about 97% fade. Awesome. Next up, Azek sent me a bunch of fever cases, 10 of them. Let's blast these open, see what we get. Looking like every single skin we pulled was a mil-spec. Cheers sent me 8 cases and 2 classified items. Let's do your cases first. Looks like I may be 1 classified short on this one, so I'm going to add this Nova Antique. I hope you're not too pissed about that. The odds are basically exactly the same. But obviously after the Be the Monster, which both of these items can get, we got about a 20% shot at it. 3, 2, 1. AK-47, Be the Monster. Oh no, I'm sorry, dude. Oh, adding that Nova Antique really fucked us on that one. What would... The odds were very, very low for them. I feel pretty bad for that. I'm not allowing that to happen again, so we're gonna have to just buy the inputs that I need from the market. Moving on to Bibby Coxburn. You've got a nice collection of skins already, my friend. Let's see if we can get you some more. You sent us a Death Strike. This will give us a 10% at the AK-47 Gold Arabesque. Really sick skin. I would love for you to hit it. But I see that you do already have one. It isn't minware. It looks like a souvenir with those stickers, but it's not a souvenir. Maybe we can get you a factory new one instead of that minware, and you can make that one look like a souvenir instead. For the 10% for Bibby, let's go. 3, 2, 1. Gold Arabesque. Oh, Victoria. Mr. Bollock sent me a CZ Emerald. This is, of course, from the Shop collection, so you would be wanting to hit Maybe a bulldozer? Possibly a duelist? I don't know which one's better. 3, 2, 1, kaboom. Oh, it's another nitro. I see some items in here that are single input classified, like this Orc Silk Tiger, or this Target Acquired, or this Dragon Store, or this Latte Rush, or this FP9 Wild Lily, and I am ill prepared on the one input classifieds. So next up, that means we got this Desert Eagle Jormungandr, which was sent to me by Osim 1045. A 10% at a Negev Molnir, wouldn't that be incredible? We've seen a hell of a lot of R8s and N4A1S Nitros today. I'm really hoping we get to see that Negev instead. 10%, 3, 2, 1, Norse Collection, come through. Oh, it's so bad. Carnage sent me 6 classified items for an Orc print stream. The inputs you've given me unfortunately aren't in the best condition. We've got some battle scars, we've got some field tested. Tried to even things up with some factory news, but I still think you might get a min wear out of it. Possibly even a field tested with some of these inputs. But I'm really hoping you hit your dream, which is the Orc print stream. So let's get it. 3, 2, 1, Orc print streamo. Oh, correct collection, wrong item. Mr. Katija sent me 10 cases, 5 snake bites, 5 fractures. Let's get you that rare special. Fortunately, it's looking like nothing good. Mr. Hagen sent me 2 Mach 10 fades for the hot rod. We've had some chances today at the Chop Chop collection. We've not hit it. Would be really, really nice to hit this one. Duelist or Bulldozer? Show me what you got. Oh, the Nitro. Mr. Yart sent me this Kumucho Dragon. It's in field tested, but we'll complement it with another one in factory new. He clearly wants the AK-47 fuel injector, and with our extra inputs, he now has a 10% instead of a 5%. Let's attempt it for our friend. 3, 2, 1, AK. Oh, it's not the worst. An M4A1S Cyrex in factory new, about $90. So you definitely made money on your field-tested Kumucho Dragon. Mr. Azul sent me 2 P250 mint kimonos from the Rising Sun collection. So I'll put your 2 mint kimonos in, but I'll also add a couple more inputs from some other juicy collections. Let's hope we don't hit the 2018 Nuke collection. Let's hope we do hit the Rising Sun. 3, 2, 1, good luck. Ooh, bro. Vanilla Biggie sent me a very low float MP5 SD phosphor. I'm not entirely sure what I can even do with this. I've had a little look through my other low floats. I've come up with this for you. Everything here is really, really nice flow. We have some crazy juicy options as well. I think hitting the recoil collection would be quite nice. I've also got this in here, which we could hit a super low flow Orc Lightning Strike from. That would be insane. I've also got this in here where we could hit an Orc Wildfire, and I've added 2 more phosphors for you. So we end up with a 15% at the AK-47 Asimov in low flow, which I presume is the skin that you're after. So let's count it down. 3, 2, 1. Orc Lightning. Oh, Desert Eagle Prince Stream. It's not a bad skin, but they're just very common, and this certainly is not the #1 float. 3 zeros and a 2. It's not even top 10. It's not even... Is it top 100? These guys are so common that, yeah, it's probably going to be around number 80, 90. Not the outcome you're after, but hey, hopefully a cool souvenir nonetheless. FNS Potato sent me 3 very low float restricted items. Those being from the graphic design and the Overpass collection. These have 4 zeros in each, which is just... it's mind-blowing. We really need 4 0 classified inputs for this, I'd say. I think everything else will just be wasting these items. So this one I'm also going to have to come back to when I have bought the appropriate skins. Mr. Vision has sent me items that don't look like much at first, but when I check them out in my storage unit, they are 4 0 super low float classified. I've delved into some of my lowest floats that I have in storage unit. You guys have costed me out a lot this video. Some of these skins I've been saving for very special occasions, but I feel like it should be a special occasion if I'm doing trade ups for you guys. I don't mind spending my money trying to get you guys epic skins, and this really is an epic contract. We have two incredible low float items in from the Sport and Field collection. This, I think, would get us the #1 M4A1S Fade if it hit. It would be my absolute pleasure to return that back to you. You gave us a rapid eye movement. I guess Nightwish is best from that. I've added a couple of Zeuses for the AK-47 Inheritance and super low float. I've also added 3 Wicked 6 for the Tamukau and super low flow. You have some unreal options here. Thank you very much for sending me these very, very low float skins. I hope I've done the trade up justice by including some of my own, especially some very, very rare, valuable ones. Best outcome, #1, M4A1S Fade. Let's do it. Whatever comes out of this is gonna be super low flow. 3, 2, 1. I really hope we see a new world #1. That would be amazing. Let's go. Oh, okay. Okay. I feel like the Tamukau would have been better from the Revolution collection. We have an AK-47 headshot. Let's have a look at the float. 4 zeros in a 2, and then 6-9. 6-9. I have a feeling that's probably not going to be the #1 float. Just a little gut feeling. Oh, it's not. It's not. The #1 is 4 zeros and a 1, and we created the new #4. Sorry, dude, that did not go as well as I hoped. Moving on, we have YHML, who sent us a variety of skins, 2 of which are classifieds that I don't have the pillars for, so we'll skip this one. Jian sent us a whole bunch of restricteds, a couple of classifieds, and a kilowatt. Once again, I don't have the items to do the classifieds justice, so we'll come back to it. My Critaja, I'm sure I did not pronounce that correctly, sent us 2 Cologne capsules and 1 Katowice 2015 cash souvenir package. Let's start with the Cologne 2014 challenges first. iBuyPower Hollow would be pretty good. Titan Hollow would be pretty good. I think the Vox is also pretty good. Ooh, now the normal. Let's crack open our second one. I'm not sure which is the most valuable, the iBuyPower or the Titan in this one. Ooh, no, not the London Conspiracy. And last but not least, this Katowice 2015 10-year-old cash souvenir package, the Galil AR Cerebrus in souvenir. I think that's the one we're looking for. Some of the other skins in this aren't too bad either, but I just don't want it to be an industrial. Oh yeah, the Glock. The Glock is nice. And the stickers look pretty good on it as well. Fire sent us an Silk Tiger. We have to skip that one as well. Pinkman sent us Target Quiet. We'll skip it. Guppy Polk sent us a bunch of cases. A Tech 9 Hades and a Desert Eagle Hypnotic. We'll open your cases and do the Tech 9 trade up, but we've got to leave the Desert Eagle Hypnotic. Let's try to make something from your Hades. Gods and monsters. Ooh. Let's smash open your cases too. I love the fact, 9 Rose Iron, you've given me winter offense suits. They just bring back so much nostalgia with the Alt Redline and the M4A4 Asimov. Underrated skins for sure. FAMAS Pulse, not too bad. Final Winter Offensive. We move on to more OG cases. The 2013 Winters. These have some OG skins in for sure. And they also got those OG knives in them. But with only 2 of these remaining, chances are looking less and less likely. Let's let this one roll just for good luck. Maybe we see that. Oh no. AZE sent me 10 cases, 5 revolvers, 5 dreams and nightmares. Let's crack them open for you. The revolvers are quite pricey nowadays. That's all because they have the chance at the Karambit Blue Gem in them. Every other skin is pretty bad. Mr. Justin sent me 1 singular Revolution case. It would be amazing if this 1 case of yours, Justin, was the rare special item, but everyone else is sending in 10, sending in 20, and you're just sending in 1. Oh. I wanted it to be. Still Avid sent me 10 cases and a big Kev charm. I appreciate the big Kev charm. It's nice of you. Ooh, StatTrak M4 Saurus. But that seems to be the best thing we got. Mr. Bjorn VK sent me 10 recoil cases. I'd love to get a rare special item for one of you in this video, and from this case specifically, it would be gloves. Nah, Mr. McGee sent me 20 falchion cases. If we are to get a rare special item today, part of me definitely hopes it's not from this case, because I don't think the falchion knife is very desirable. Then again, maybe you sent me these falchions because the falchion knife is one of your favorites. So who am I to judge? Oh! Turn it over? Oh, I knew it. I knew it. It's the falchion knife case hard, and congratulations, dude. Hopefully the falchion knife was your dream knife after all, and there we go. We went ahead and smashed one out. That would have been a little bit better if it was a blue gem, but hey, a knife is a knife, right? Oh, and an AK-47 Aquamarine Revenge for you. Those 20 falchions were very nice. Mr. Yarg sent me 4 classifieds, and I think we'll make this the last offer from this video. We'll come back, we'll finish it off in a week when I can do the rest of those skins. Final trade of the video, we whacked a Cayman in here for a 5% of the Vulcan. Let's hope that comes through. That would be incredible. You sent me a bunch of Searing Rages and stuff, so I guess you probably want to